Hello, everybody. There's a winter storm going on, so my internet's a little spotty. So if there's hiccups in the recording, blame God. Um, I got nothing to say. There might be some fun stuff happening soon, but it all depends on life. Kate, what do you want to yell about?
Well, there's a lot of things I want to yell about, but the thing I want
Same.
to yell at our audience is go check out Redbubble, where you can find awesome stickers and other prints of art that I've made about these campaigns. Woo!
Woo! Woo! That was a terrible Zoidberg I just did. Anyways, anything else, Kate? Is that it?
That's it. That's
Okay.
all I got.
Bon voyage. Last we left off, Scrappy's body was carefully removed from the tree and brought to the church by a doctor from Nebelstadt Hospital. While the townsfolk were nosy, you all split up. Samira and Scooch took the museum tour, Abraham scattered out the church, and Tero and Sumaji lingered at the tavern. Like the lazy guy Sumaji is. Just laying around. During his scouting, Abraham learned from Father Ivar, the halfling priest, the church would open for a sermon later that night, as per usual. Abraham then scouted out the property, peering through the windows, noticed some particular details as Father Ivar was preparing for a ritual, or the sermon, and there was a locked back door, but with no entrance to a cellar anywhere. Back at the tavern, Sumaji was eager to leave for Vokil to hear the Rime King's speech, but as everyone reunited at the tavern, they all agreed that the church's sermon and the things that Abraham had spotted, possibly, and some of the suspicions tied around the church and the body, probably couldn't be ignored. So he decided to investigate. When the sermon began, everyone but Tero entered the church. Tero, meanwhile, slipped into the cellar through the chimney. And Penny was left outside, which I forgot to mention, but, dogs not allowed in the church. What? Because I also forgot. What Tero found was indicative of Shady. Scrappy's body lay on an autopsy table, which you generally don't do in a church. At all. Found a trunk filled with old bloody clothing from countless people. Ritualistic tools lined the shelves. And in a bedroom, Tero found an autopsy report and a deed, along with 150 platinum peak coins. So now Tero has 150 platinum. Meanwhile, Father Ivar led the congregation in a ritual involving an offering of blood. Sumaji and Abraham participated and witnessed the congregation drink said blood as it turned blue and began to flow through the air. Sumaji drank the blood, but something within him burned it away without it affecting him. Abraham refused to drink it, and so instead it went to other people in the congregation. Moments later, the ritual spiraled out of control as they tried to leave the church, the congregation, and Father Ivar, but the doors wouldn't budge. And in doing so, the congregation and Father Ivar fused into a grotesque, monstrous abomination. Hearing the chaos above, Tero set the church ablaze, starting from the basement, and joined the fight. It kept ringing the bells, causing weird mind effects, nearly TPK'd the entire group, with only Abraham left standing. But miraculously, Tero rolled a natural 20 on his death saving throw and immediately got up and started throwing his silver daggers at the congregation, having noticed that it seemed resistant to psychic damage. And after learning it was vulnerable to silver, it was eventually defeated, but victory came at a heavy price, as Sumaji had fell in battle and perished. Only Abraham and Tero remained standing, with Samira and Scooch unconscious but alive, as they were all dragged out of the burning church, with Sumaji turned into a sort of Mary Poppins balloon to get out of the church, along with Abraham. As they all stumbled into the cold night, they saw the church fully engulfed in flames, and on the distant bluffs overlooking the ocean, another fire raged, this time consuming the burgomaster's mansion. Oh, and I forgot to mention, somebody saw worms standing outside of the church while this all went down, and they weren't seeming to...
Samira saw them.
Yeah, weren't seeming to act or anything, and then when somebody else looked outside, the worms were gone. So, as the church is consumed by flames, thick smoke spirals into the sky. On the distant bluffs, the burgomaster's mansion is also engulfed in fire, towering columns of black filling that region of the sky. Sumaji's body, once suspended in the air like a puppet by Abraham, or balloon, now drifts gently down into the snow. Though the fatal blow left no visible wounds, the congregation's use of his corpse as a weapon, having thrown it at Abraham, has left the form broken and battered. Tero and Abraham are the only ones that remain conscious from the conflict, Tero barely standing. Penny, having not been permitted inside the church by Father Ivar, rushes over from behind some of the nearby gravestones and begins barking at Scooch's unconscious form.
Oi, oi, Penny, keep it down. He's fine.
Penny is a good girl and stops barking.
Yes, Penny is a good girl.
Abraham,
Good girl.
Penny, and Tero stand amidst the crackling of the heat from this church, the flames biting at your skin, while thick smoke kind of stings the lungs and eyes. Tero gently sets Samira and Scooch down, as you can't see nobody really freaking out in town. Worms aren't in it. You can't see any worms. The townsfolk aren't really rushing about yet. And Penny kind of starts frantically licking the faces of Samira and Scooch. For the sake of the session, because of just who's all here and who's not, as Penny begins to lick the faces of Samira and Scooch, with this panicked affection, both of you awake with 1 hit point. Penny can't heal people, but just for the sake of the session.
Yeah, we get it. Yes, that is a good yes.
So Scooch and Samira, both of you awake, with 1 hit point.
I think I know what Caleb might say. He can overrule it, but
Yeah.
I like the idea of Penny having in her survival gland. There's like smelling salts.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. That's fun. And yeah, just starts licking the faces of Samira and Scooch, and the two of you awaken to see the church ablaze. And Samira, you're unaware of Sumaji's state, because you were also unconscious when it occurred.
You see, you wake up and you see like Abraham kind of like looking at the flames, but then also not looking at anyone in particular because he doesn't realize if anybody's awake or anything. But he's like looking around for guards.
Yeah, you don't see a single one.
What happened? Abe?
What's
going on?
Oh, you
What
got
happened?
some. Yeah, a couple of you went down. We got you out. Things are fine. Hold on. Everything was moving real fast. Right,
Is
let me
everyone-
catch up.
Scooch
Everyone okay?
Scooch struggles to get up a little bit, gives Penny a little scritch under the chin.
I got your brother out. Not looking good though.
Oh, where is he?
Right there.
He's kind of laying at Abraham's feet.
He looks wrong. I haven't given him a look, but just levitated him out
As
there.
soon as you look at Sumaji, you can see when he was thrown as an improvised weapon, and the contact he made with the surface, his arms are bent at weird angles, his legs are bent at weird angles, and he is lifeless. Eyes open and clouded over.
I'm gonna, as quick as I can, get up and stumble over to him.
Mm-hmm.
Maji, get up. You can get up now.
Do what you
Marty,
got
stop
to do to get
playing.
him up. Alright.
I'm just shaking him.
We
I don't
need to
think there's-
move. We need to move fast. This fire isn't gonna just not gain any
Scooch,
attention. We gotta get people up and moving.
He's
Yeah.
not waking up. Scooch,
Tero,
Scooch, get over here, please.
Scooch will like limp over. Tero is like, you see Tero has like a journal, and he's like putting it in his, he's putting it in where I think he has pockets, and you see he's also got like a rolled up scroll with like a stamp of the Dominion on it. He also like puts that away, and you see he's got a coin purse which he also stashes away for the moment. And Tero also like saunters over quickly. And then those of you who have just come to consciousness, you also see the distant bluffs overlooking the ocean, the Burgomaster's mansion, also just completely engulfed in flames.
What you think that means?
I don't know, mate. Samira said they saw worms just watching us inside. Maybe, I don't know. And Scooch is just gonna like, just do a medicine check, I guess. Like he's not gonna do a medicine check, but he's gonna entertain Samira's concern, even though it's pretty obvious what has occurred. So he's gonna like kneel down and like go to feel like Sumaji's pulse and everything you kind of do to check for that sort of thing. And he's just gonna look up at Samira and say, "I'm sorry."
Don't you dare say it. He's not gone. We can fix this.
Right, no one
Look.
say nothing. Let's move.
We gotta
This-
we gotta get somewhere safe. Tero's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna like try to scoop Sumaji up, and then Scooch is actually.
Well, I know. I saw that fella came back potentially, but seeing how's the Scrappy, that house. We can go to that house.
Oh yes, I found some things that are worth sharing with you all. Scrappy's body was just in the midst of an autopsy in the basement of the church, and I found suspicious things, such as
we
the
discuss it.
knives, these sacrificial look. Yes,
Yeah, them was real useful, but we need to get somewhere else now. So, like, maybe that place Scrappy was holed up. I know that if there is
Yeah.
one person there, it's only one person.
yeah, that
Maybe
could
we
work.
can-
All right, Penny, scoop up Sumaji. Be a good girl. Penny is a good girl, and Penny was gonna like get kind of Sumaji onto her back and just await sort of what's next.
Okay. How far away do we know that specific thing is?
Just a couple
at
blocks.
home? Alright, stay low. Let me and Penny lead. Alright? Keep an eye.
Are you all?
Penny.
And kind of creep through, try to stay close to, not get out in the open, but stay close to buildings and try to look
All right.
and then move.
Yeah. Don't really see much. People aren't really walking about. Like it's like no one's noticed that the church is on fire yet. Like the smoke hasn't reached like the town because the church is on the outskirts. So it's like people haven't like. It's nighttime. People are probably sleeping, so they're not aware of this. And there are no worms in town. Usually you'd see a worm or two walking around, but now you don't see any. It's like the town is vacant, but you can eventually reach the house.
Got bad feeling about this. Well, them worms. What they doing? Alright, there's a place right there.
And he'll go look up through the window, see if that dude is home.
You look through the window and you just see somebody sitting in a chair facing the window, but they're not reacting.
He'll go ahead and speak into their mind, be like, "Oh, don't say nothing. Just blink."
They don't even blink. They just stare at the window.
Alright, something's amiss. We're going in.
He'll go ahead and put his hand on the window and wait for a reaction, and then just start opening
Yeah,
the window.
the person just keeps staring at the window, no reaction. You lift the window up.
Cool. He's going to use his
bonus action shove to kind of like knock over the chair and see what happens.
Cause the person to kind of like tumble out.
Tumble.
Okay. Yeah, they just kind of they fall out of the chair and they're just laying there motionless.
or something's really wrong. Everybody get in.
He'll open the door, the window the rest of
Okay.
the way, crawl in.
Yeah. Penny will come through the front door with Sumaji on their back, and Tero will also come in, close the door behind him, and lock it. Hey, you just see this, Abraham. You see the same guy who like was carrying the sack away, just laying on the floor now, staring in the same direction, unmoving.
Abraham's gonna go ahead and like shut the window that he crawled through. If there's any curtains, he's gonna
there
pull
is.
them closed, and he's just gonna curtain all the windows.
Yep.
And
just
I think we got something here. I think we got a beat to get our bearings, figure out what happened there, what was that, and what's it mean when all the not all, but listen, right? What is he, a puppet?
and he'll start using his minor telekinesis to like move.
Yeah,
parts
the
of
limbs,
his,
the limbs just like
his arms.
yeah,
and
they
stuff.
move around.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
The eyes are glassy, but they're not like they're not like Sumaji's eyes currently. They're just really shiny and glassy.
Can I make? Can I discern like what it might be, like whether they're bewitched or something like that, or like enchanted or anything like that?
You can try to make me an Arcana check.
Okay. What is going on with you?
And yeah, Samira, you're
Grabs
it's
grabs
just you.
the chin.
Yeah.
Just kind of
So you
looks
grab the
at the
chin
eyes.
and you look. Yeah, make an Arcana check. And yeah, Samira, you're just there. Penny's got. Tero and Scooch move Sumaji's body to the bed, and just lay it in the bed.
I think Samira is just in denial, tucking him into the sheets, like she's closed his eyes, just trying to convince herself that he just needs a long rest. Like he just needs to rest and it'll be better.
Abe with the 13. I think that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like there's anything magical going on, and as soon as you touch the chin, it doesn't feel like normal flesh. It feels like you're touching a candle. It feels waxy.
What is going on here? And he'll like just shove his thumb into the forehead.
It just slides in like you're pushing your thumb through wax. You push in about maybe a good 6 inches before you touch what feels like bone.
Way. And he'll stick his claws and hands in and then just
It is a human skeleton encased in wax. The eyes are glass.
Oh, so you're saying like it wasn't 6 inches, it was like millimeters or
Oh right, yeah, not
It's
inches. Yeah. It'd be like millimeters. So, and you kind of glide into this waxy substance, and then you feel what feels like bone, and then you kind of just like peel off this wax face, and it is just a skeleton underneath with 2 blue glass eyes and fake teeth, like dentures, like false teeth.
I'm at a loss.
There's like and as you like peel the wax off, you can see this like sigil carved into the skull. And
what is that?
and now with your Arcana check,
Yeah.
something has animated the skeleton, but disguised it like a person with the wax to make it just look like a person. So it's not like an animate dead spell. It's just like somebody animated the skeleton with non-necromantic magic and encased it in wax, so it would like follow commands and whatnot.
Wait, so I wasn't too far off. Is this a type of... I mean, my telekinesis is innate. Is this what a spell of telekinesis will be?
With this in your mind, I make an insight check if you'd like. You can do insight, history, as if you're like trying to recall,
Maybe a story that I heard in a bar,
or more like
anything like that.
events of the day. To see if you can try to piece things together. You can do investigation too, actually. Insight, history, or investigation, your choice.
Try history. Yeah, not much better. 12.
12. Now that
Yeah,
you
Abraham's
think,
just his brain is just going
Yeah.
everywhere right now, like pulled in a bunch of
now
different directions.
that you start to think about it, there is a weird thing that pops into your mind that you didn't really notice before, because if the DM called it out, it might be a bit suspicious, but now that you think about what you might have seen in passing with your passive skills that didn't really jump out before, none of the people in town lingered close to sources of heat.
With thinking back, did he seeing like recalling that? Can he then think back and perhaps remember people not really dressing
Yeah,
bundled enough for
Yeah.
the weather?
not really bundled enough. Some people did. There were people that were dressed warm, but the people in the congregation were dressed warm. They had furs on and everything. They were dressed warm.
Yeah.
But now that you think of it, when you're in the tavern, nobody was sitting near the hearth where you guys were sitting. Everyone is kind of near the counter or elsewhere. You didn't go on the museum tour, so you wouldn't really have noticed weird stuff with that. But a lot of the people, now that you think on it, weren't dressed for the weather, but they seemed fine. At night, nobody was carrying like torches or lanterns. They were just walking around. And when you were in, the tavern, nobody was sitting near the fireplace or any heat sources. And even in the general store, there were like no candles or anything or heat sources near the guy working. They were all like on the outer, like kind of edges of the tavern for light.
Wait. Did we see the last of this town's population
And then,
get
sorry, go ahead.
get collectivized, amalgamated?
And then, you recall what Scrappy said. The mayor, 40 years ago, was executed for murder because a bunch of people were found encased in wax in his basement.
Right.
And the burgomaster who helped with that discovery and that case, or the guy who helped with that discovery in the case, was made burgomaster by the town and the Dominion for his efforts to help. And now his mansion is also burning down.
Right. We've got a number of things going on here. Man, there's no one to bounce off of right now. Because Samira's preoccupied. Alright.
Tero, or not Tero, Scooch will say, well, somebody made a living wax figure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but Scooch, yeah. So, like, there was.
Remember the previous, like all the stories about town, where there was a previous burgomaster that was putting people in wax
Yeah.
figures
Well, look at this, and he'll hold it up next to the fire and just see the stuff melting. Right. So clearly, the previous burgomaster was innocent, and the one right now is the guilty one. Potentially, I don't know. We're putting a bunch of things together. I don't know how it relates to the church and what happened there, but it seems like. I mean, it seems like all the people living there are just getting replaced.
Yeah, and also, the cemetery was pretty vacant.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I figured that was like only privileged people get,
Ow.
a spot, but I mean, that makes sense.
Tero will pipe up. If it makes you feel any better, which it probably doesn't, and he's kind of looking through the journal that he found. I looked at the corpse of Scrappy. He definitely wasn't hanged. It looked like he was strangled to death. And the autopsy report is definitely falsified and is ruled in a way to make it seem like he killed himself. So I think our friend, the priest, was involved, or he definitely was involved in some capacity. But he did seem surprised that the ritual didn't go as expected. From what you're saying.
What the expectation was.
And then also I found this deed there as well, but what are we going to do about Sumaji?
I don't know.
Can I hear this?
Yeah, you're all in the same, probably the same room.
Yeah.
Because the window that opened up to where the guy was sitting in the chair is the bedroom, so you're all in the bedroom currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna take him back to his order, and they're gonna fix him. That's what we're gonna do with him.
We don't even know where his order is. That could be so long. I don't want to be insensitive, but I don't think his body would survive the trip, if you know what I mean.
He did it with me. We can do it with him.
What do you mean?
Well, he found me way up north by the mountains and got me to wherever his order is, so there must be a way to keep him like this and get him back to his order so they can fix him.
Wait, I still something weird. What you mean? Like you're saying you? Like, I thought you were just down, needed healing. Like a doctor or something.
Yeah.
What,
yeah,
you're saying something else happened?
All he needs is he needs someone more capable than us to heal him.
He's dead.
We also don't know how to get to his order either. We don't know where they are. And
But Sumaji's gone.
yeah,
He's not gone.
I mean,
He's not gone because he can't be gone because I need him.
all right. He's not gone. All right. I can't stand this. Yeah, he's not gone. What we? What? Scooch, can Penny carry Sumaji?
yeah, she did before.
Right. I mean, this place is cold enough, right? This place is cold enough. I mean, I'll get stiff as a board. Sorry, it's blunt, but
oh man, we're not going to be conspicuous hauling a corpse around for who knows
well,
how
we
long.
wrap him up while he's not stiff. Let's get some wrappings. Yeah, I mean, we got a perfectly good. We can roll him up in make a burrito out of him with these blankets.
Samira, do you have any idea where the Order might be? Did Sumaji ever tell you where they were?
Do I vaguely remember, like, where, like, walking out of there?
I'm gonna say that is up to Lex. Where the Order is on the continent and where they might be and how much Samira might remember of that.
Or at least know the region.
Let me.
It definitely would not be the Rime Dominion.
No.
Yeah.
If anything,
Logically, it would. They wouldn't have.
I will say this if this
So
helps. The province of Veld is the more natural region of forests and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Koldari Expanse is the more of the regions that y'all are allowed to be in, and you're allowed to be in the Dominion, but you're not allowed to like live there and everything. And your characters none of these characters would ever have been in the Dominion yet. So you have the province of Veld, which is like forests, and it's a little more hospitable. The Koldari Expanse is very much an Arctic tundra full of like those weird craters that you've been seeing, and the Koldari Expanse is very much known for lycanthropes and weirdness. But the Order would definitely be hidden.
Yeah. And where this would have taken place, probably to
I should probably pull up Owl.
prevent the potential of like
People finding out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
Yeah.
up here, if you can see where I'm highlighting, that's where I imagine the incident happened with Samira. Like up here.
like Northern Veld, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, like I
The
said,
logistic of the Order probably would put it opposite.
the
at the very
Koldari
least.
Expanse is like the Shadow Touch Wilds are where a lot of the lycanthropes of the setting or this continent are. So likely it would be somewhere in the Shadow Touch Wilds
Yeah,
or
I would go-
elsewhere.
I mean, I would say I would agree, but I don't know if Samira. Probably Samira would remember woods like forest.
Because it seems it's probably it's a secretive sect, a secretive order that is tied to draconic stuff.
I'm mostly looking for what was like the nearest town that we stopped in after this happened, I guess.
I will have you roll a history check, and we'll go from there.
Okay. History's not great. Well, that's a natural 17 for an 18.
An 18. Lex, where on the map would you roughly like it to be? Finding
Without
it.
knowing,
Like the closest town.
yeah, I think they would have trekked through the woods for a while and would have ended up in Volkill.
Okay. So the closest
Okay.
the closest town would probably be, we'll say Volkill then.
Okay.
So somewhere.
Well, that would have been in the town that, and probably not the closest. Probably the town he would
Like
have
the
taken
first
her
place.
to.
Yeah,
Alright.
the first place we went to after.
I would
Okay,
say
gotcha.
based on then the closest town is probably Anglewen, based on the trajectory and directions, which is basically on the borders of the province of Veld and the Koldari Expanse.
Yeah.
With an 18, you roughly know you remember the town you came through. You just have no memory of where the order is located in that region.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so just to clarify, it's
It's a long
technically
way
closer.
away.
Yeah, technically closer to Inglewind, but the first place we went afterwards was Volkill.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. Okay.
If you follow the road, it would take a very, very long time to get to
Yeah.
there, and then you're also to spend time looking around. That's a long, long, long travel to to be hauling a body around for?
I mean,
Samira, what are you thinking? I mean, we got a long trip ahead. I don't know what you got plans for Sumaji, but I mean, I'm not making any leaps saying that he's not looking. I mean, he's not having his best day.
maybe a couple days from Volkill.
What do you know?
It was hazy the first couple days. I don't know exactly, but it was in the wilds north of Volkill. That's as much as I remember.
Samira,
Try.
what?
Can we please just try? Can't just leave him here.
Right. I think yes, we will try, but no. At some point along the way, might need to put him to rest before we even get there. There's, life on the road. I mean, you know how it is. At any day, any night, one of them tree spiders could snatch him away, grind him up, and suck up his bits.
We'd also have to,
Right.
we'd have to keep out for other predators too that would be coming for.
I mean, we either find a place, laying to rest, or risk, that type of desecration of your brother.
I'll watch him. I'll keep an eye on him. Nothing or no one's getting to him.
Kate, I need you to roll a D100, please.
39.
39. As you all stand in this room with Sumaji's body contemplating what to do, a sudden wave of sulfur fills the air.
What? Someone? Scooch, is
Mama?
it? Did you
I
pass it?
didn't do anything.
Come on.
Alma, is that you?
The stench is
The other
suffocating.
room, maybe the bathroom, right?
I gotta change my internet real quick. 1 sec. Oh no, it's all back.
Jeez.
Never mind.
Who done this? I can't believe you done.
Justin, you broke up a little
You
bit.
broke up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my internet's shit in the bed.
No.
We got almost nothing after you said sulfur
Okay,
was wafting into the room.
sulfur fills the air.
And then Scooch farted.
The stench is suffocating.
Yeah, who done this?
I'm gonna call out for my mom, see if it's her.
The floorboards begin to split and break.
Oh no, I didn't sign up for this. What is happening?
And
Come on, just wait.
embers begin to emanate from below the floor as a feminine figure emerging from beneath the floor from an inferno that doesn't spread or catch flame. This feminine figure rises from the inferno, or the embers beneath the floorboards, completely unscathed by the flames. Lex, kindly describe the entity that steps forth from the flames towards Sumaji's remains.
Kate, you could provide some insight if you would like. But you see a like pale white skin that has clear the bits of skin that are exposed show clear signs of battle and combat, these scars that litter across the neck, the face, the arms, the legs. Very much how I envision as they step forth, they take their first step out of this inferno. Like this distinct black ichor. They are bootless, but this black ichor kind of drips from their feet, almost like tar. They have these large half bat, like half bat, like flesh, but there's feathers that adorn like the upper portions, but the actual wings, what would carry, are more leather, in that nature. The hair is slick back, but there is almost like a crown that sits atop, but it's a clear helm with that. It's probably like a secondary piece to a helm that they wear. They wear, you can see, have like the battle garments, pauldrons, pauldrons upon the shoulder that go down, and kind of thick metal, this deep iron colored metal that almost like a cross stitch pattern. They, upon their belt on their hip, they have this faintly glowing rope or whip of some sort, and like across the back there is you see a ornate looking handle of a longsword or some kind of sword, massive, that is like tucked between the shoulder blades and where the wings would be. You see a demoness. I don't know if anybody would know exactly what she is precisely.
Probably not.
Yeah.
What?
Scooch is immediately going to aim a crossbow at the devil that has just risen
wait.
from the depths.
Stop.
Her expression is there's the distinct look of concern and mistrust almost immediately as her eyes, which are these dark just pools of inky black, just give a slow, steady scan across the room, to the others.
As I go past Abraham, he's just gonna be like, "Oh, fuck you too."
There's a moment where her head kind of stops and slow tilts, and you see she sighs a bit as she looks past you toward the bed that Sumaji is tucked into, and Samira is that still, I presume?
I mean, I think she kind of stepped in front of Scooch
Okay.
as this figure appeared. Can you help him?
She Samira, correct me if I'm wrong, but part of what I envision is our moms never really spoke much. Not because of a lack of being able to do so, but a preference of using their native tongue. A lot of the way they conveyed emotions and commands was, if we were really pissing them off, they probably said something in their native tongue, but was heavy body language. That's kind of how they were. But you see her head kind of drops a bit as she slides a foot across the ground, and she makes her way over to the bed. Does anybody speak Infernal?
Samira does.
Understand Infernal?
Yeah. It'll just be Samira.
Samira and Sumaji.
Yeah.
She kind of presses a knee to the bed as she slides over her on top of it, and she like very motherly takes the hand and like wipes a bit of the sweat and the hair that Sumaji probably would have felt to his face. And you see she pulls back the blanket, and upon its belt she pulls and plucks that token, that belt piece that he always had, and you see it's now that instead of that golden patron, there is it's an iron-looking coin that matches the metal that she has on her body, but the visage is like these curved, like ram horns, essentially. And you see as she tosses it, and as she does, she catches it, and it disappears in a puff of brimstone and sulfur. And in Infernal, she will say, your brother's body is here, but the soul is beyond. Your mother and I do not possess the abilities of rebirth, rejuvenation. I cannot be here for long. You see, she gives like a look around, and I would say from where she where she came from, you hear like a cacophony of like demonic screeches. I will bring your brother back to our home. Back to his mother.
I sent you something important, Lex.
It is not your fault. It is not your doing.
Nothing you can do.
Nothing I am permitted to do, even for one of mine. She flicks her finger once again, her hand, and in it appears a much smaller, like, pendant upon just a simple leather thong, essentially, like a loop. Samir, you would recognize it. This is something that you opted not to bring with you. Your bout of rebelliousness, but it is a two-sided coin. It's very similar to Sumaji's one, or two-sided face. One would be a smiling, almost angelic face of gold, and on the back side of that would be a deep black iron face, almost stern. It kind of drops in her fingers, and she holds it aloft, and it kind of spins a bit. Had this been in your possession a time ago, one of us could have came to you. She offers it out. It is yours to take now or not.
I think I stare at it for a while, watching it spin back and forth. And then I just slowly reach out and take it by the coin and just rub my thumb over the face.
She reaches down, and where the others lacked the physical prowess to heave Sumaji's body, you can tell whatever demonic strength this woman has surges a moment as she heaves this large form up, and she slow steps backwards, and she looks to the others. each a slow flicker of her eyes before they fall on Abraham.
Oh, don't look at me. Get out of here. We don't want none of this.
Scooch and Tero will look at Samira before they do anything.
I think she's just.
Both of which of them
Yeah.
look haggard with 1 hit point each.
I think Samira's just sitting at the edge of the bed where Sumaji is to be looking at the coin.
Oh, are you,
And a bit of
are you mum or mommy or ma or mother? I
And
hazard a guess.
slight, thicker, like low tone and partially broken, though I'm not going to attempt to do it. She would say, "They preferred mother for me. I was the mean one."
Right, right, me. Yeah, I mean, I'm nothing. Do
You
your
talk
thing.
a
Yeah.
lot. Keep
I-
my daughter safe. Safer
Yeah.
than you kept our son.
What?
Her wings pick up and kind of like backdraft her backwards. She hovers for a moment over this opening.
He's like, there's no
Holding.
safe here, but I mean, I'll give it my shot.
And her eyes scan to the others, the same expectation, before the wings curl in and she kind of just drops in a plume of sulfuric smoke.
Yeah. And the floorboards are back to normal like they were never disturbed.
Oh, Samira, don't do nothing reckless. I don't want that one coming after me.
Samira, I would say this, just for your knowledge. Our moms. So it's very much like, I think I took a little inspiration. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, every 10 years they can walk the earth, essentially. That it's
Okay.
they get like a 1 day a year that they can
Okay.
be on. So her being present, you would know that was a great risk for her because of
Mm-hmm.
what she does and what she is.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Thank you, Lex.
Fuck you, Lex.
And fuck you.
You little shit.
So your infernal mother vanishes with Sumaji's remains.
We can go.
Oh, Samira, what?
We can go.
Right, well, it's submit. I mean, it's middle of the night. We should, you know, you don't have the right idea of it. Maybe we should all move. But first, let's take a rest, wrap up our wounds, take a breather. You know,
Yeah, before we get going, like let's just take an hour to lack.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
say that whole thing and everything else, that would have been an hour. So you guys can all take a short rest now, and if you want another one, I will allow that as well. If you want to knock out 2 short rests back to back, just to like not be dire. So yeah, the hour with
Indeed.
like laying out Sumaji's body and discussing, figuring out what to do, trying to figure out what to do, and then Mother showing up and doing what they do.
I think I'm going to also use Arcane Recovery to get a level 2 spell slot back.
Alright. So after that short rest, Scooch is at 22 of 36 after using all of his hit dice. Tero, using all of his hit dice, will be at 28 of 31.
Samira's going to be at 19 of 26 after using all of her hit dice.
So
Yeah,
we'll,
it looks like Abraham's taking point with 32 hit points.
so we'll say
The wizard.
we'll say yeah. We'll say with that and everything, it was about 2 hours for all of that just occurred to kind of happen.
Mm-hmm.
Still very much
Get outta
nighttime.
here.
Mirror.
Mm.
It's not goodbye. It's not hello. It's stasis right now. Alright? So you can put everything on pause just for tonight. And we focus on getting out of here. And maybe unraveling a bit of what happened. Can you look at me? Right. We're gonna keep it together. We're gonna get out here. And you know what? We're gonna hold on. Maybe Sumaji, his body and soul will reunite at some point. But not right now. You good? No? That's okay. I'm not good either. Do you know what we just saw? We just saw a... Oh, don't even get me started. Alright. Take a breath. I'm gonna fill you in. We got puppeted wax people all over the place. Who knows how many of the guards are around here? We didn't see none of them. But the burgomaster's place was on fire. Might need to investigate that. And with any luck, we can do a little bit. And he looks over at Tero. And then looks back at Samira. A little bit of retribution by killing some guards on our way out. How's that sound?
Yes, of course, if we stumble across any, we should brutally kill them.
Right. I say we do it smartly. No, maybe a little one at a time, maybe two at a time. I think we can do that much. But we do it smartly. What do you think?
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a task, right? You think of the first idea to lure one out to wherever we're doing stuff, right? You think of an idea to get one down for ambushing, alright? You think of that while we're on our way to the Burgomasters. You got that? Is that good? You feel good? I mean, you don't feel good, but you alright?
I think I can handle it.
Alright, let's do it.
Abraham fucking just stretches out, sees that he's like the person in most fighting weight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, alright, let's do this.
Alright, you open the front door, unlock it, peek out the front door. As you peek out the front door, about maybe 20 feet away on the other side of the street or road, there's just somebody standing there watching the house and watching as you open the door and step out. Just watching. You can't really make out many features because it's dark, and they're kind of standing in the shadows of the next street over, like under like an awning.
Oh yeah, someone's watching, so I didn't see it right away, so you know, just act natural, head towards the Burgomasters. Are they actually in the direction of the Burgomasters, or can we
Oh, they're
just,
they're facing the front door of the house as you open it and look at it.
Yeah, but where's the Burgomasters in relation to the front door of the house?
You'd come out of the house, and then you'd have to take a right and go towards the burgomaster's house.
Right. So, not even going to like acknowledge them as just like kind of glance over them and just be like, "All right, someone's looking. Don't look at them. We're heading straight to the burgomaster's. Don't know what's going on. A bit eerie."
You all, you all start filtering out and following Abraham. And after a little bit, the figure begins to follow, and you can hear the sounds of footsteps crunching in the snow, as the person who was watching you now is now following.
Oh, excuse. You're pretty observant. Are they looking like they're made of wax?
Let me take a quick look. Turns around real quick and looks at the figure. Lex, would you please describe what we see?
Sorry, who's looking?
Scooch.
Scooch.
Okay. Right. Scooch would see a when Abraham was looking as they were standing, they seemed to have been using a or what Abe would have probably missed is they were probably leaned on it a bit more to give them a more upright look. This figure has this like walking stick, and that's where there's also an additional faint crunch. They have a slight slouch to their shoulders. You could tell that they are kind of hunched over a bit. There's thick fabrics, though there is not as chaotic as Tero's. It's not like patchwork, but it's a variety of different picked up fabrics of like cloaks, probably a couple different cloaks that are just kind of wrapped and kind of shielding their body. There's a hood pulled over, but in this moment of being caught, Scooch would see there's a wrinkled old jowls that kind of, what do they call it, like the turkey jowls
turkey
that
neck,
old
yeah.
people
The
get.
gobblers.
Yeah, the like where old people get, where it like makes like the little the little hot dog, yeah, on the chin. The only thing I can put it to. There's a more prominent,
Jowls.
slightly, like drooping nose. The eyes are kind of squinted a bit and beady as they are looking. Their brows are cut almost like in a perpetual furrow as they are just kind of like. And as Scooch takes note, they kind of grab their like walking stick and kind of like awkwardly make their way to, like, as if they were just following just for the moment. And their eyes kind of turn and they give a moment.
But do they look like they're made of wax?
If they were standing next to a fire for a really long time. Because the wax is very slow.
Scooch will just say, well, yeah, if they look like they're melted. It's a really old lady. I think.
Alright, dismiss it. Just let them follow. We'll figure it out. Alright? You keep an eye.
Alright. Penny, while walking, the head will rotate to keep an eye on the back while they walk forward.
Just one eyeball pops out like this.
Yeah, like.
And as the group proceeds to move forward, she would follow close. You would see
Okay.
that she does stick
Yeah,
about
you all
20 or so feet.
still tell you're being trailed by this old woman
How close?
20 feet back.
20 or so feet, yeah.
That's okay. Abraham's just gonna, not even looking back, just gonna say, like, "Oh, you got a mind? If you can hear this, then how about introduce yourself instead of looking like a crippo? Yeah."
Scooch described an old lady.
A melted old lady.
And I've always, whenever I think of like someone speaking telepathically, I always attribute it to like it's their almost like their talking voice to some degree. Like it play into that. That's just me in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
voice that
Abraham
would-
can't talk like how he does. He's just pulling that from
Yeah.
His actual talking voice is like
It probably, I would imagine Abraham's talking voice is like telepathic voice. If Abraham could communicate, he would have like the same dialect in his natural tongue talking to other like mind flayers or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's deep speech, bro.
Yeah, that's true. But the voice that comes back in Abraham's mind and responses, I mean, I enjoyed this little game.
All right. I mean, you got a massaging voice. I mean, oof. All right, you can talk back.
Oh shit! Wait,
That just caressed my brain.
wait. She can't talk back, can she? Abraham, is that a duo conversation that could be had?
Well, Abraham, as of right now, since you are the only other person in the party like that is within range that he can see, he's kind of broadcasting to everybody.
Oh, okay, cool.
Got it. Okay.
So everybody hears what Abraham can hear,
Yeah.
or what Abraham says, but maybe not what this
No,
other person can say.
Okay. Those would be more precise to your mind. Okay. Fine. She walks up and she pulls the hood back just a little bit just so you can get a view, and she has this stringy like hair that falls and like looks like maybe you haven't showered in like or like bathed in like a day or two. Just the oily slick. Yeah, I mean,
Nobody else in the party.
yeah,
has
that's
either.
true. But she, I would say it looks less well kept. Like I would imagine other people during their morning stuff is at least like grooming themselves to some degree, even if it's with a fork or their fingers. She does not look like she does that. But the voice that cuts through is, right, well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Ivory.
Right. Well, Abraham. Yeah. Well, this is our group.
Everyone can introduce themselves, but
Hello, I'm
listen,
Tero.
catching us at a bit of a vulnerable time here.
Right,
How about
one of your own perished, right? Within the church. Such an unfortunate event.
Yeah,
Samira
Abraham's just saying-
freezes.
Yeah, Abraham's gonna look over at Samira and be like, "All right, come clean. What you got? Bring it here. What?
Scooch is
you
getting
got
the
going
crossbow.
on?" Yeah, cause
She looks around.
Tero's
like a
gonna
slow-
smile wide, just fantasizing.
Is there anybody like in the vicinity?
like townsfolk or anything? Yeah, no worms either.
Is it empty? Oh.
we in a ghost town now.
in more ways than one. So how about you reveal why you're here, what you've seen, and what you're gonna do?
Fine. You make the game so boring. And as she does, she pulls like almost like she's pulling skin off. She just like rips her yeah, like she rips here. And there's no skin that comes, but it's just the illusion of like her tearing through. The way that the wrinkled skin begins to almost look like you're dragging your fingers through it. It splits and it begins to shift into like this slightly purple gray coloration to the skin. And as the fabric falls off the head, it is a well kept, well manicured like hair to about just above the shoulders, but it's like slicked in a. I'm going to show you a picture just so to help describe it a little bit more. And where the fabrics would have fallen, they just kind of fall away in a pile, discarded. There is a rather upon the back, and you see why there was a slight slouch. Upon the back, there was a slight curved shield that has a leaf-like design, though the coloration is a deep brass and bronze variation. Also, kind of slightly tucked behind the shield is you could see it's a spear, and though it's slightly, the way that it was hunched, you imagine there's a way that she can like extend it a bit, so it would like slick down to get a little bit smaller for concealment. She has like a shoulder pauldron that goes down over one arm, and she wears leather, but you could see underneath the leather, and like probably what the leather is hiding is chainmail that she kind of either worked into the leather, simple boots and pants.
Official
She
art
kind
to
of
follow.
she gives like a slow stretch. Her eyes are like, there's like dark black circles around the eyes, but the actual eyes themselves are a blank white. The lips are also like, she looks like a blank slate, though the slight discoloration, almost like like a black eye, but it's black. Like it looks almost like eyeshadow, if you will. She gives like a slight stretch before she looks around. The name is Kriarin. I am... Oh, what's the word to say? Motrigan's eyes.
Hold on. Yeah. Right, as long as he's not one of them great one, you know,
The what?
one of them great one, you know, wormlings. I'm just gonna say wormlings, right?
Oh no, I could be. And you see she kind of like lifts her hands up again, and like part of the face, like almost like a cracking effect, like a porcelain doll begins to shatter. You see there are color begins to form on the skin as a beard begins to grow partially through some of the cracks, and you could tell that's like a darker skin, like almost like a deep brown male, obvious male with the thick stubble and things like that, but the cheekbones begin to become more like prominent and like a square jawline, and she kind of gives a tilt of the head, though the other side of the face, like here up, is still that blank slate.
Abraham's gonna look over at Tero and be like, I know we both consider ourselves artists, but this one's a bit dramatic, right?
It's very impressive. Perfect for murdering. I wish I could do it.
And as they say that, the face kind of fades back and the stubble seems to fall away, but it just wisps away into nothingness.
But yes, official art to come soon.
Alright, well...
And she goes to Samira, who is... Are you still standing there, frozen?
I think Samira has been listening, but has her back mostly turned.
She takes a hand and gently taps the shoulder.
She smacks the hand away and looks at her. Burning, a devilish glare.
What, Matrigan's ward, or what have
Kriarin, you can call me. The sculptor.
Quiwarin? What was that?
Kriarin. C-R-E-A-R-Y-N.
Yeah.
Or the sculptor, if you
I'm so sorry.
feel so inclined. I want to apologize to
Kriarin.
you. I did not mean to be curt or lacking tact. It's been some time since I've had to integrate into societal interactions like this.
Abraham's gonna just beam it straight to Kriarin.
What, she just lost her brother? I don't know why or how Lady Metrican wants to send you or give assistance in what manner or whatever, but Samira just lost her brother, so we need to tread lightly. You know, just stick to introducing yourself, what you do, and also We're about to go kill some guards and fucking finish up this place, right? Because it's already a dead town. We got a lot of information. It needs sharing. I might leave Tero to give you the lowdown on the walk. Right, we're heading to the Burgomaster's. Tero's got a little journal. She'll explain a bit, but we gotta get you up to speed. There's a lot going on. Let's do the heart to hearts at late date once Samira's. You know. I appreciate it though.
Fine. I was trying to be sincere, but. And she turns to Samira. All I want to say is I'm sorry. I was told not to intervene. And I was caught up. The place was surrounded. The worms were watching. The doors were barred. If I were to have presented myself, I would have potentially... Well, you can imagine.
Samira just turns and continues down the road they were headed down.
Right, take no offense. I'm sure you'll warm up to each other on the trek out of town. Wherever we're going, I think Volkill. But
Are we leaving? Or did you want to pay a visit to the mansion?
right, well, something's going on, and I mean, there's mysteries afoot. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and we're looking to figure it out. Maybe find a little wiggle room towards how and what the Great Worm's up to, and how they tore apart this town. Because, as I see it, this town is dead, and it's because they had their way with it. But
May I ask a
what
question?
their goal was, I don't know.
What was your outcome at the mines?
And Lovely is just gonna be like my outcome at the mines. Well,
Oh, she would have said that. They would have said that out loud.
yeah.
If we
outcome
wish
at
to
the
move
mines.
fast, are we leaving? We're leaving the town, right?
Yeah, we are currently walking in the direction of
Perfect.
the Burgomasters. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Which is
Yeah,
to the
we're
it's like
hoping
the,
to get-
to the north.
She takes the spear and she flicks it out, and it extends out. And you see now what she. I'm sorry. What she was using as a walking stick, she would extend out, and the sharp point of the spear would like jettison out. She would kind of hold it slightly behind her back, tucked. The shield would be pulled out, latched, and she would kind of have that at the ready. Well, it's been some time since I fought, but yes, I would like to hear everything that's happened since your departure from Lady Martrigan.
Right. Hey,
We can
Tero,
talk
could
on
you
the road if you want.
Right, Tero, could you fill
Of course.
Kuriaren in?
So, the doctor of this
From
town,
Tero's perspective, I imagine this whole thing is.
the doctor of this town was butchering people in his basement.
They'll fall back and listen to Tero's.
So I found a
Dissertation.
falsified autopsy report saying that he hung himself, but when I looked at the body, he was strangled to death, and I know what strangulation marks look like. I have done quite a few myself. I also found this, which looks like a deed. And I found 150 platinum.
Very impressive.
And a
And
bunch
you
of
would say-
ceremonial knives. So I assume they were up to no good down there.
Right, and just for everyone's understanding, the worms marched from the church to the mansion. So they, I presume, were the cause of the blaze.
Right, we don't know right now. We're just investigating. I mean, I really hope there's some worms there that we can kill.
Well, let's move fast then, if it excites you to remove some.
Well, it does. Especially knowing that this whole town is, well, you know.
You don't mind if I, and like she shakes her head as they do. You see the hair, like the black hair, would fall into like a mousy brown. The face is feminine, though. If you were to see it on the street, it just looks like a peasant woman. Like it just looks like very plain, like Jane Doe. Nothing to write home about. I like to keep the disguise. I like to keep my disguises as generic as possible. Let's move.
Right. Yeah, that's generic. That's good. Right, got a lot of tricks. Okay, we can use tricks. Samira, how you doing with that plan on guards?
Before, I'll say this, Samira, as you're walking along, so I'm going to assume you're in the front because you kind of just walked away and everything.
Yeah.
This is all going on. As you get just on the outskirts of town towards the Burgomaster's mansion, you do see a pile of worm armor that looks like it's melting on the ground. And there's like a fleshy colored sludge oozing out of it. Just on the outskirts of town.
Is it within 120 feet?
I'd say it's about 30 feet away, just up the road.
Okay. I'm gonna launch a firebolt at it. At the ooze.
Yeah, so you launch a firebolt, and as soon as it impacts, it's like an explosion hitting a pile of just wax. It just kind of splatters further outward.
Oi, we got trouble. What's going on?
That's the plan.
And as further you get, you see more and more of these piles of, like, just discarded wax, armor and flesh alike, just oozing out. And they're in the direction of, like, they're like the way they've, like, looks like the way they've collapsed and melted is in the direction of, like, towards the mansion.
I think Samira's just in a fit of like rage and fury at what is conspired in the last couple hours, is just going to throw a firebolt at every pile of armor she sees.
Okay. Just, and yeah, they all splatter like superheated wax. Just goes.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting.
About half a mile out of town, towards the ocean to the west, you come to where the manor was, overlooking an icy beach. The manor is just fully aflame. The grounds are surrounded by a low wall of interlocking stones, which are still intact. But everything on the property, the numerous buildings on the property, are all ablaze. And you can see like piles of armor where it looks like people just walked into the blaze and immolated themselves. And it looks the same as the ones on the way here, just piles of melted wax, giving you the insight that the worms themselves were, in this town at least, were also the same. But instead of there being like bones underneath, these are just pure wax, nothing else underneath. These were just figures of entire wax that have just melted down into nothing.
What the rock gutters was happening here? I can't make heads or tails of it. It seems like maybe this was a free agent. I don't know.
But you do see a set of wheels, like wagon wheels and horse hooves, in the snow that left the property and followed the road out of town to the east.
Well, they're bad at being discreet. Should we follow?
Oh yeah, we don't want what happened here to happen to. I think the next place they're heading to is nowhere, and there's nothing left there. But I mean, let's talk.
What? Tundra
While you're all
That's the next one.
looking at this stuff, Tero's, you just hear like the sound of a wax seal breaking. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just being nosy.
Right. You go with that.
Read
Be
aloud.
nosy.
Please share, if you were so kind.
Oh, I was. Deed of ownership for Kaltarak Manor.
Is that the one on fire?
Well, let's find out. I'm gonna read it in my voice, because there's a lot to read as Tero.
Boo! I'm just kidding.
Boo. Okay, fine. On this day, the 13th of Coldwen, in the year 407 PR, that's 2 years ago, I, Baron Philomin Uthred of Volkil. When Tero says that name, he smiles wide, because that is the individual he tried killing, and that's why he got apprehended. As the duly appointed representative of the Rime Dominion and the head of state for the Kuldari Expanse. So the head of this entire region, the government head of this entire region. In recognition of the dutiful and invaluable services rendered by Dr. Otto Ivar, in the name of the Dominion, hereby grant and assign to said Dr. Otto Ivar the following property. An abandoned manor house long forsaken by its previous owner, the founder of the Rime's End vanguard, Arkrath Kaltorak, situated in the shadow-touched wilds 8 miles southwest of Angeladon, which, if you look on the map, it is directly north of Nelduin, up the road into the forest, just south of the Dragon Gate.
Is that where we were headed?
Yeah.
Weren't we like kind of like in this area?
Well, they said you were
This is
headed
where
that
we were
way,
supposed to be executed.
but
Right.
yeah, you're headed
Yeah.
that way. But they said they were taking you to the prison, but in truth, they were just going to execute you somewhere and dump your bodies. The manor rests upon land marked by wild, untamed forests and deep craters. The structure is large, though worn with the passage of time, surrounded by thick foliage and one of the largest craters within the whole of the Kuldari Expanse. And as you all know, this region is covered in craters everywhere, and you guys did get close to one of the craters in the Shadow Touch Wilds, and you just heard like weird voices and stuff coming from it, like disembodied. In consideration of Dr. Ivar's substantial efforts in the furtherance of the Rime Dominion's sacred purposes, particularly his tireless devotion and active role in aiding the Dominion's endeavors in Hrungar, including his invaluable assistance in writing reports to further conceal and support Dominion research, I hereby grant unto him full rights and ownership over the manor and its surrounding lands. Additionally, a payment of 150 platinum has been made to Dr. Otto Ivar for his actions in assisting with the falsification, I knew it, of documents critical to Dominion activities in Hrungar. This grant includes all rights to repair, build, alter, or repurpose the manor as he sees fit, provided such actions align with the will of the Rime King and the Dominion's sacred tenets. Dr. Otto Ivar is to utilize the manor and its lands in a manner consistent with Dominion objectives, particularly the furthering of the Dominion's influence and the propagation of its ideology. Ensure the original experiments and tests performed by Arkrath Kaltorak of the Vanguard on the remains of Sakari the Twin Storm, the Rime King's only ever progeny, remain intact and cared for to serve as the basis for the Dominion's research into the Blue Blood and its connection to the mysterious craters across the Kuldari Expanse. That's the stuff we found in the mines, the Blue Blood, and the heart stemming from the dragon.
Yeah, right, but what they say about the Vanguard there, that was...
Ensure the original experiments and tests performed by Arkrath Kaltorik, which this deed mentions is the founder of the Vanguard. Ensure the original experiments and tests performed by Arkrath Kaltorik and the Vanguard on the remains of said dragon, Sakari the Twin Storm, remain intact and cared for. And we were told that the founder killed Sakari and they kept the skull in the headquarters, right? We all saw the skull. And then we saw the heart in the mines. So clearly they took some of the remains to this manor. The Dr. Otto Ivar shall provide an annual report to the Dominion High Council detailing the condition of the property, the activities held within, and any matters of importance relating to the mysterious creators within the shadow-touched wilds. The deed shall pass to any progeny or successor appointed by Dr. Otto Ivar so long as that individual continues to serve the Dominion's interests and follows the will of the Rime King. The Rime Dominion warrants that it holds the clear title to the property and that it is free of all encumbrances, expecting those natural and arcane influences that may manifest due to the location of the manor. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the seal of the Rime Dominion on this day of Colduin in the year 407 PR, signed Baron Philemon Uthred of Volkill, head of state for the Koldari Expanse. So it's a deed for the founder of the Vanguard's manor.
Right. So the founder of the Vanguard was Arkrath Kaltoric?
Arkrath Kaltorak. Yeah. You were never told the name of the founder by the Vanguard, but you were told that the head of the Vanguard, when Carver took you all in and showed you around, that they and their party killed the Sakari the Twin Flame, and that their skull was kept in the Vanguard headquarters as like a trophy. And this says that they experimented on, or at least this deed insinuates that the Vanguard and Arkrath were like experimenting on Sakari's remains in this manner. And it serves as the basis for the Dominion's research into the blue blood and its connection to the creators across the Kaldari Expanse.
Alright, so based on this information, and I'm gonna summarize a bit of my takeaways from this.
I'm also gonna post the deed and the autopsy report in the quest journal after the session for everyone to like peruse at their leisure.
Right. So the Vanguard, the founder of the Vanguard, does some work, does like what they thought were good deeds, or founds the Vanguard, but in the process of doing so comes across certain information that is then used to have the negative effects that we're currently seeing.
Yeah. Like the Dominion is using that basis of research for their stuff.
Okay.
And based on what you were told...
So it's not the Vanguard that's bad, it's just that the information that they dug up is now being used by their enemy.
Yeah, perhaps. There's a lot of mysteries still around it. But yeah, judging based on what this document says, that sounds like the best explanation.
Okay.
And also from what Carver told you, that dragon was killed killed 200 years ago, so the founder is likely no longer with us. Oh yeah, I think they did mention that the founder died at one point too. I can't remember, but you would have at least heard during that introduction and everything, if I forgot to tell you, but you would have all learned that Arkrath, or whatever I said their name was, Arkrath Kaltoric died like not long after they slew Sakari the Twin Storm, whose skull is in like the entry chamber of the Vanguard headquarters, and then you all found the heart in the mine. So it is connected in some weird way, and this kind of confirms that the Vanguard and the founder were experimenting and doing tests on the remains at this manor, and this deed demands the preservation of said experiments. And this is also this deed is dated 2 years ago from this point.
So our takeaways here is that agents of the Great Worm noticed the experiments and foundings of their enemy, and then we're like, hey, let's use that shit because it's intriguing. And so now they're just kind of taking the experiments where it started and just kind of extrapolating in the direction that they wish.
And this was dated 2 years ago, so you get an idea that Otto here has been working at that manor for the last 2 years as well.
Yeah.
I said the seal wasn't broken, but the seal would have been broken because he would have read it.
Okay.
Reseal it.
Yeah, resealed it.
Um,
But yeah, so there's some interesting tidbits in there, and definitely Kriarin would know that Arkrath died like 150, 200 years ago. Not long after the founding of the Vanguard, they passed away. They're actually. Now I get to say exciting stuff that you would know, which you could choose to share with the others. I assume you would, based on what you just found out. But I don't know
Who?
you. You're an enigma. Who knows who
Me?
you are? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Drama.
what would I share?
Very dramatic reveals.
I do have I have my document about the Vanguard and all of its fun stuff that I was going to share at one point once you all learn a little more about them. Founded the Vanguard in 203 PR, so a long time ago. But yeah, it's 409. So like 206 years ago they founded it. So the Vanguard's been around for 206 years. In 215, Arkrath and their comrades perished in a bold attempt to infiltrate the Rime King's palace and slay the tyrant. The mission was a devastating... Yeah, you were told this. The party was told this too, if I recall. The mission was a devastating failure, and the bodies of those fallen were paraded through the streets of Ormerheim as a warning to all. The Dominion's loyalists rejoiced, branding the Vanguard as traitors, and the Dominion kind of used this assassination attempt as a way to like paint the Vanguard as terrorists in a way. But yeah, Arkrath died in 215 PR, 12 years after founding the Order, or the Vanguard, and when she attempted to infiltrate the palace and kill the Rime King, her and her comrades in the mission, all members of the Vanguard, died, and their bodies were paraded through the streets to the rejoice of the people of Ormerheim. And they were a Dragonborn, a white Dragonborn. Yeah. The Vanguard knows the truth of what happened. The Dominion used this assassination attempt against the Rime King to paint it to suit their narrative and the propaganda, and it worked. A lot of the continent believes that story, which is why in some of the settlements you've been seeing, the worms aren't entirely like feared by people. And also, now that you're getting a better context of what happened in Hrungar with the wax people replacing people, it probably explains why people weren't really alarmed by things going on, and why Scrappy was like, why the fuck is nobody noticing me? Scrappy was very much flesh and blood.
Yeah.
But
Arkrath, you just said that they were a white dragon.
White Dragonborn, yeah.
Thank you.
And died in an attempt to infiltrate the Rime King's palace and slay him, and the mission was a failure. And then the Dominion loyalists rejoiced, branding the Vanguard as traitors, bent on imposing their own rule. Dominion propaganda spread quickly, turning the Vanguard's defeat into a twisted narrative of betrayal and failure, casting doubt upon their cause and labeling them as traitors and villains continent-wide. So they spun the assassination attempt on Thelsiri and the Rime King in a way that really damaged the reputation of the Vanguard, and is why most people dislike them. They view them as like a criminal syndicate, terrorist organization kind of deal. And that's the gist of it.
So, it seems like there's nothing to be found at this manor that we were heading towards, and we should redirect towards these tracks. Track down this Alto Ivar. See if they got any guards on them. Take them out. Interrogate.
They're in a horse-drawn wagon, so they're going to be ahead of us a bit here.
We got anything?
Wasn't Otto the priest who ran the...
Yeah,
the ritual?
he melted into with the congregation, yeah. The burgomaster, you were told their name was Eldrick Reinhardt.
Oh, I got it mixed up.
Yeah, the priest was Father Otto Ivar. The leader of the settlement was Burgomaster Eldrick Reinhardt.
Father Otto Ivar, MD.
And the burgomaster had connections with the mines because, closest settlement, and you were told that he was sending miners there to work and everything. Scooch will look at Kriarin and say, "Alright, so you were like sent to spy on us or something?"
No, I was simply sent to watch, to observe.
Were you
to
given
ensure
any
that-
information to guide us, or just,
Of course, if I ever had to reveal myself.
and you just
show
did?
you. Yes, of course I did. So, a couple things. I assume we are going to head to Volkill.
Well,
Clearly-
we had a planned stop, but might be passing that up. We encountered a ruin on our way from Nelduin.
What ruin was that?
Well, it's I mean, I don't know the direct translation, but I picked up that it was the altar of the moon. I don't know what that means,
Oh.
but there is some significance, and it's coming up here soon. I don't know what it is, whether it's something bad or something good, whether it's going to bestow a blessing or a curse within the area, but it's an event happening. It seems like
Well,
a
I think that we
celestial
should-
event.
I personally think that it would be a good idea to just test out everything. These lands are wild and untamed and unknown. I think
Right,
it'd be a
but we got
very,
this-
very good idea.
We got this low-life burgomaster on the run.
Headed where we're going.
Right, and we gotta catch up. It's late, and I don't. We better. Do you got something? Do you got any more tricks that will help us all move faster?
Like she does like a long stretch, and as she does, her form shifts to the slate, the gray, the blank slate, if you will, the sculptor form. You want to move faster. I don't have the ability to enhance our speed, but some of you still look worse for wear from the moment you walked out of that church.
Yeah, get everyone else. I'm fine.
You look good.
Yeah, I'm.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I do, right?
Tero's at 28 of 31, Scooch is at 22 of 36. Do not know what Samira's at.
Samira's at 19 of 26.
Abe looks like
It's just got a couple
Okay.
scratches, you know.
Yeah.
I will say, based on everyone's,
Tero will get.
based on Abe's passive investigation, Scooch's passive investigation, the wagon tracks are a couple hours old, probably around the time the church caught fire.
Not that far ahead then.
right.
So
they-
probably like
they
a
got-
couple hours up the road by horse.
No. Yeah, they got 2 hours for us in front of us.
Well, they're gonna have to stop. And we just started our track. Here, they will reach a hand out and give Tero 3. We'll
Okay.
heal them for 3. Tero feels like a summer warmth on their shoulders.
Oh, that's nice. It's very cold. That's very nice.
Scooch will get 8.
Okay.
They're gonna look to Samira. Would you like to be revitalized a bit?
I don't need anything from you. I'm fine.
I am here to help. I have the same goals and aspirations as you do.
I don't need your help.
All right. Fine. Here. She'll give 6 to the rest. Some 6 to Scooch.
Okay.
And she will give Abe.
Boom. Scooch is at full.
Oh, you gave Abe 2?
I have 1 left.
Oh, wait, so in order to do that, they would have, come up and touch Abe?
Oh yeah, she would take her hands and
Oh, what's that? What's that?
The others, look at their wounds. Look at their bruises, their marks. They're healing.
Yeah, but you got a way about you.
I do.
Yeah, listen. Do what you want, but just know, like, you trying to fund business, I'm gonna crack you. Okay? I'm gonna crack your corn.
I would love to see you try. She holds a hand out and it begins to glow.
Alright, well, maybe once we're on the road and things are fine,
It'll help us put us to sleep.
Yeah. Well, let's just do a spa or something.
Or a morning spa. I always like a good wake-up call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like you do too. Are you going to take my hand, or are you just going to let me hold it here aloft?
He just goes and does a tentacle thing, see if she's thrown off at all by tentacles at all.
Oh, definitely.
Because
not.
usually most people.
Yeah,
are.
she does the playful oh no. She grabs the tentacle. She goes to try to grab the tentacle
there it is.
with the healing hand. She kind of catches it.
Me.
She doesn't
finally
hold it.
have a healer.
Yeah, she doesn't hold it for too. She'll release it. It's like a quick.
Fortunately, it's a little too late.
As what happens when someone dies.
Yep.
They turn into a healer.
Yep, that's how she goes.
Learn our lesson. All right, so with everyone mostly up to good, maybe we should get moving.
Yeah, let's see if we can catch this guy. Yeah.
I have proficiency in land vehicles, Justin.
Yeah.
We got the
Can I figure out how fast they might have been going?
Yeah, I'll allow that. That's fun.
That's awesome. Good use. That's
That
really
is
smart.
interesting.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
No,
do they
that's-
have
that
a
is a
car?
fun
That's a
game.
good idea. That's a good.
One of us finally has vehicle proficiency.
Yeah.
Someone else did too, but
But they fucking died.
They were going fast. So probably about 80 feet every 6 seconds.
And we're going less than half that.
Oh, but we don't know when they slowed down.
we can't maintain.
That's
They
true.
can't maintain that level of fast. I mean, they could, but their horse might die or whatever they're using.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. beast
Judging
of
on what
burden
you've
they're using.
experienced at Dominion, they probably don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that horse is gonna die, and then he has to trek. So, Justin, are there any animals?
Nearby?
Do I see any birds or anything like that?
Make a perception check. There isn't a lot of trees around here because it is a tundra.
Or-
But there's
Not my strong suit. A 5.
you don't notice that what everybody else would notice because you're too busy healing everybody and whatnot. As you're following the road, perched on a nearby building, watching intently, is just a tiny little raven.
I think Samira is just fully concentrating on the tracks in front of us.
Okay.
Only really acknowledging Abe, Tero, and Scooch and Penny.
Okay.
Fully ignoring Kriarin.
La 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 la. La, la, la,
And then at this point, that's when the raven kind of flies overhead, and that's when you notice the raven fly off Kriarin.
We're a little too late there. What is our plan if we catch up to the Burgomaster?
Well, kill him.
Do we want to interrogate him first?
I mean, sure, but I'll leave that up to Samira. Yeah, what do you think? When we chase this guy down, you want to interrogate him? do a little bit of suffering first before killing him, or kill him outright?
Learn what he knows and then kill him.
Alright, that's our mentality.
Do you have ways of persuasion?
I mean,
Ignoring Krioran.
let's see. Do I have ways of persuasion? Well, I can convince someone to give me their brain after they're dead. I've had no, resistance from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you learn whenever you take their brain?
It's a little inconsistent, I will admit. But occasionally I get a tidbit.
You give the right leverage or pull the right strings. You can learn a lot from a person who's under the impression that they're going to live after you're done with them. I feel like some of us may know that, and her eyes are going to glaze over toward Tero.
Just nods.
Right. So,
Well, I guess I'd never bothered, because...
it's your call whether we outright kill, but I think some of us could use a little moment alone, if you will, with them.
Yeah. Just save the brain, just in case, I can always maybe get some scraps of information.
So, if it does come to it, everything below the neck.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's be off then. I'm excited now.
Right. Well, gang, I think this one's a weird one. I think, that could be a good thing.
I think
But-
they're great.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
About an hour out of town, you can see something. It's snowing a little bit. You can see something just off the side of the road that's slowly covered in snow. Like it's been sitting there for a couple hours at least, and there's snow beginning to like blanket it. It's a pretty large shape. And as you get closer, you can see there's strangely, or not really strange, there's like a large rock in the middle of the road that's covered in just about as much snow as the overturned carriage that you can see lying off the side of the road, and you can hear somebody in that area just groaning in pain.
Or I think everyone else needs to take it from here.
I'll let everybody make an investigation check just for the scene as you stumble across it.
Not great.
I'm gonna add my last d6 for the day.
See.
D6.
Lazy.
Dirty 20.
Okay. The rock and the carriage have just about the same amount of snow on them, which is less than the surrounding terrain. And it's a small little rock in the middle of the road. Like the wagon hit it, and you can see the wheel broke off when it hit. And the way it looks is that the rock kind of just appeared. Like it wasn't there naturally. And there's a wagon off the side of the road now, broken wheel. You can see horse tracks running off, like the horse broke free and ran off. And you can just hear somebody grunting and groaning on the other side of the wreckage that you can't see. They sound like an older gentleman.
I'm gonna go over to him.
Well, Samira, do you think?
So you walk over and you see this older human man, 60s, probably early 70s. I think I got his just actual description somewhere.
Oh, Eldrick Reinhardt?
The carriage is very opulent, like it belongs to somebody of wealth. It is emblazoned with the colors of the Dominion, white and blue. Yeah, fuck, it doesn't really matter what he looks like. I haven't really. Oh no, here we go. Older human man, looks like he's in his early 70s. Looks like he's a kind and caring. He looks like a kind old man. Pale gray eyes, which are slightly sunken, giving off this world-weary look. Gray hair with a prominent widow's peak. He's wearing a fancy gray tunic with a light blue shoulder cape and a dark gray overcoat with a heavy fur collar. And he's laying. That was all my dice that I just knocked over. And he's so loud. And there's so many D4s on the floor.
Oh no!
You see this? You see this older human man just laying in the snow, clutching a severely broken leg, and it looks like he was thrown from the carriage, and it kind of landed on him. So his lower half is like pinned under the carriage, and he looks up at you. Oh, thank you for coming. Oh, I could use your aids.
Everyone in the group immediately sees Samira's body language and countenance completely change. And she goes from very stiff, angry body language to worried citizen of his borough. Like, are you alright? Is there anything we can do to help you?
My
I can try to push the carriage off.
That would be most appreciated. My wagon, we hit a rock in the road and it broke the wheel. I was flung from it and my horse scampered off. I think my leg's broken.
Samira's gonna lean her back up on the carriage and try to just like do the thing where if you lean a car back up enough and get it on one of its angles and you just pull the person out.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
She's gonna do that and then also cast Gust to like push him 5 feet out from under the carriage.
So utilizing magic.
To subtle spell.
Subtle spell. Okay, smart.
Subtle spell.
Nice.
Because using magic in front of a Dominion official is, well, that you assume is a Dominion official based on the color of the wagon.
Yeah.
Well, following the tracks, it's clearly Burgomaster Eldrick Reinhardt, who you've never seen before, but this is based on the tracks and everything. This is most likely him.
Yeah.
Can Kriarin see him?
You can probably see him now that Samira's kind of like trying to like get the wagon off of him.
So casting Gust the cantrip and athletics check, natural 20.
Oh shit!
Or a 22.
Very nice.
So you get the wagon off, and then he somehow gets pushed a little bit out from under, and yeah, his right leg is super broken. You can see the bone sticking out. He's like clutching it. Blood's like pooling into the snow a little bit. Thank you so much. I don't suppose any of you. You can see the others standing up, like just standing nearby. I don't suppose any of you have anything to treat wounds, bandages, anything.
Abraham using the medic's mask thing, because that's what he's kind of wearing, is like the healers of the heart mask. He's gonna go take a knee next to him, not say anything, but then just kind of crack open his thing, just kind of buy time for Samira to do whatever while he's just rummaging around in his paints, just to make that guy think like he's about to get some healing.
Make a performance check or a deception check.
Well, lucky for you, we have a doctor amongst us. Can I help him?
Yes. Can you please recite the creed? It makes me feel better when they're treating my wounds.
Does Abe know the creed?
He does not.
Does Samira know the creed?
You do not.
No, probably not.
Oi, I am a mute. It says.
I'm afraid he can't. The good doctor lost his tongue, and in a dispute a few years back. He's unable to speak.
Deception check.
Would this count as me being a different person?
No.
Okay. So no advantage.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, advantage?
You
Okay, let me roll one more time. The first one was a dirty 20.
okay?
Okay. Dirty 20 is the highest.
See if I can find a fucking dice somewhere in the mess. His eyes narrow slightly, but he doesn't say anything. Well, at least get me up and help me to my wagon. I have supplies in the back.
Of course, of course. Here, you can lean on me. And I'm gonna help him to his feet. And I'll take him to the wagon for now. I'll let someone else possibly intimidate him into information, but I'm kind of like holding him. You know what? You know what? I'm the one with the thing. As I'm helping him up, does he have any or like ornamental daggers or anything on him?
Nope.
No. Okay. As I hold him up, I'm just gonna swipe one from my back holster and just put it around his neck. Now tell us what we want to know. Who are you, and why were you running?
You're very terrible doctors if this is your way of dealing with things. You clearly must have some indication of who I am if you're... That looks to everybody else. So what do you want from me? Information?
Some gold would be nice too, if you got it. Or we could just leave you out here to rot, in pain, broken, no one around for miles.
There's contingencies in place if I fall.
What do you mean if you fall? And as she says that, her face kind of drifts and melts, and his visage begins to form. I'm right here.
Myself and other higher-ups in the Dominion share a sort of connection. If one is snuffed, the others will know.
Then we won't snuff you. We'll just play with you. I'm really good at playing. It'll be a
Samira,
slow saunter.
in your mind, a voice breaks through, and you can sense, not a voice, but like a presence.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are connected as well. Interesting. And you hear the burgomaster speaking in your mind.
Seems like you're more easily replaced than you believed.
Ooh, nice.
It is not my visage they need. As I said, there are contingencies in place if I happen to no longer be breathing.
What?
There's a lot
Is
of
this the
things.
one making them wax things, right? We need to figure out what happened to that village. Right, that's the priority. What were they trying? What were they experimenting with? And what? See if they got any of the notes on them as to how they did all this.
Good doctor, if you would be so kind to search this man's pockets.
Yeah, we'll just like start patting him down.
Yeah.
Marzipan, check the carriage.
Tero will saunter over the carriage and check for traps. Based on the other Dominion people you've come across, they tend to trap their belongings.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an investigation check for checking for traps. +0.
Oh.
Very
Oh,
much
no.
The very Tero thing.
Oh no.
He looks at it. Doesn't seem trapped. And opens it up. If it was trapped, it probably would have done so when it careened off the road.
Mm-hmm.
Valid.
Fair.
Looks over at the guy. You said you have supplies, but your wagon is, or your carriage is completely empty.
So where do they all go, Burglemaster?
Who?
All your supplies? You weren't gonna get far with nothing.
I didn't have to go very far, perhaps. I figured that would be obvious, judging by me not bringing anything with me.
There's nothing around here for miles but the town you just came from.
Sure. On your maps and your experiences, there's nothing around here for miles. So again, I'll ask again, why are you doing this to me? I have never met any of you. I have no qualms or quarrels with any of you. Clearly you're just a band of really bad bandits. But that doesn't explain the connection you and I share. He kind of looks at Samira a little, focusing a little bit. Samira. Looks at the others. Oh, unfortunate. Where's your brother? Thinks for a second. Sumaji.
Right, I think, and Abe's gonna like go sit down next to him and cross his legs and be like, "All right, here it is," talking into his brain.
There's a little bit of blood that nicks down his throat.
My internet froze a little bit after he said, "Where's Sumaji?" So, what'd you do after that?
The dagger presses just a little bit deeper as she resists the urge to slice his throat.
So yeah, a little bit of blood trickles in, but he doesn't flinch or anything.
Yeah.
Right, I think you're gonna lead us to whatever outpost you think you got within, within range here. And we'll leave it and leave it be. How's that sound? And old Masquerade won't take your eyeballs.
Masquerade, that's the name you're going by, or Elias?
Say another word and you lose your tongue.
He just smiles. I will happily take you wherever you want to go. The way it looks on my screen, the way Garrett's sitting, and the way Abraham's posed behind him,
It looks like you're doing like this. it literally looks like you're posing with your fist back. That's so good.
It's throwing me off.
It's crazy.
Yes, I will happily take you wherever you want me to take you.
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, big time. Briarn has dropped that face. Or sorry.
Oh, that looks so much like a nat 20 too.
2.
2 plus 4 for a 6.
He seems like he is genuinely happy to lead you wherever you want to go. Abe, same thing. He's genuinely happy to do so.
Can
Perhaps,
I
perhaps
try...
he seems a little too eager.
Yeah, can I try to use the connection he seems to have established to go deeper into his mind?
You are unable to do so.
Okay. Gotta drink some of that ooby gooby shit, I think.
Dooba doobie.
The ooby gooby.
Ooby booby?
Ooby gooby. I need some dingleberries on my brain.
No, no. No, you don't. Alright. Alright. While we're moving, I actually got some questions. You know, since we're getting familiar with each other.
He also doesn't seem unfazed by the telepathy either.
Yeah. And Abe's picking up on that, which is why he's getting casual.
Yeah.
Casual.
I seen a little bit of what you've done to that village there.
Yes, very much so.
You're proud of that.
I did as my lord demanded. I'm pretty
To
proud
the-
with the outcome.
What, to the letter, or did you have any artistic, interpretation of what was asked?
I may have put in a little bit of my own little flourish, but I followed it to the letter as well as I was told.
What were you most proud of? I mean, when people work, they got pride a little bit in what they do. What were you most proud of?
Very good question. There's a lot to pick from, but I would say conversion of a whole town is something to be very proud of. There were a few that were a bit stubborn. The vagrant was always a thorn in my side, the whole affair, but that was easily dealt with.
He was on edge, yeah?
Once certain people were replaced, it made it quite easy.
Right.
The only ones that I deemed important were Otto and his congregation. Everybody else were my playthings in the way.
But, I mean, what I don't understand is, end goal. Was it always just to kill all of them? Or
No, just to
was it...
see what makes people tick, what works, what inner workings goes on, and what we can do to make people evolve and adapt into something better.
Evolve? Better? In what way?
He looks towards Samira. Well, judging on... There's a connection I can sense in this one, and the fading one I can sense in the dead one. They were the closest to such perfection and evolution that my lord seeks.
Right, so what you're saying is these rutters that we're hanging with, they did way better than you did, and they weren't even trying. So again, what are you proud of? You just made some flesh monsters, and these ones are more perfected. So what are you proud of?
Who says we're not involved of what became of them? Our reach stretches continent wide.
Right, I'm talking about you though.
Oh, me? I couldn't give a shit
What are
about...
you maggot, right? Like,
your pride means nothing, cause look, what they already been. You can't even follow a template, right? You can't get any of them, to turn out like this, right? All you get is mush monsters.
Yes,
You got no talent.
that's fine.
You're an embarrassment.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, you're an embarrassment, and you'll just.
He's gonna gaze at Samira while Abraham's talking, like he's focusing again.
Yeah, you guys would probably notice that Abraham is using the same words that his father uses against him.
Ooh.
As Abraham
Oh,
talks,
shit.
and gets a little emotional, it seems like he's gonna peer at Samira and kind of focus in, and you feel this mind probing Samira. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. You get a sense he's probing for Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
or at least this individual you're with.
Would I be able to cast shield to shield myself? Literally
That's
from
for
him?
physical attacks.
Okay. Wisdom save, you said?
Yes, please.
18.
You feel like he pries just enough, but not deep enough that he wanted to go. But he does glean something from his poking around. What are the first two things at the top of your mind whenever you think of Abraham? And be honest.
The first thing Samira thinks about when she thinks of Abe is the sketch he drew of her on their first or second night together.
Okay.
And the second thing she thinks of is the hand that he sculpted for her.
Okay. He just looks at Abraham. Just continues following.
You're not even like making anything of your own. You know, you're just trying to copy. You know, you don't have your own style.
Well, I assume you came across the wax figures in town. Those are of my making.
Right, but those are
Otto's.
copies.
Otto's. No, those are replacements. I would say they're better crafted than your drawings and your clay sculptures. Those, very amateur.
All right.
I think you should try better.
Wait. I heard something along the lines of duplicating or mimicking is not true art? A lack of originality? No. To have the perfect replication of something in someone, that right there is art in itself.
Well, just paying attention to details and
Right.
creating.
Look, I understand from strictly an artist's perspective, we have a... What do you do exactly, Abraham? What's your preference?
Oh, let me show you. And he takes Elric by the hair
Mhm.
and just fucking decks him in the face.
Okay. Make an attack roll with advantage.
And this is, to be clear, non-lethal.
I assume so.
All right.
Up to the nose.
That's a 19
Yeah.
hit.
Spits some blood out in the snow.
And that whole time he's just looking at Kriran.
Um,
And then just lets the guy's hair go.
yeah, as soon as you say it, he takes a momentary glance upwards, like towards the clouds, like towards the night sky, and then continues leading you all to where you want him to take you.
Where do you think that rock came from? step older. And Abraham's just talking to the whole group and just broadcasting, including the Elric guy.
What did they say? Karma will come back in tenfold? I don't know, maybe it was just unlucky. Bad timing. I've heard rocks fall from the sky all the time. If you're in the right place.
He just keeps momentarily like looking upwards every once in a while and leading still. Doesn't seem
What are you
alarmed, doesn't
looking
seem
for?
concerned, he just seems content.
What are you looking for?
Well, this one clearly had information that is either gone or hidden or whatnot. So I don't think I can eat this one's brain. It's too infected. So what we're getting is what we're getting.
To answer your question, Samira, he says, well, most people follow the stars. That is simply what I'm doing.
And what are you following?
The stars. You wanted me to take you where I wanted, or where you
Are
want.
there? It's a clear night. It's clear.
Yeah, it's just
There's
snowing.
no-
It's lightly snowing, but it's a clear night. You can see the stars.
Oh, okay.
But
I
there is
thought it
like
was
there
still
is like
overcast.
there is like storm clouds, like in the distance to the north, or to the to the north. The way you're headed,
Okay.
you're headed east. Yeah.
Mhm.
So actually, no, sorry. The storm clouds are to the east, the direction you're going.
Do they seem to be getting closer faster than they should be?
Make a
Like
perception
they're coming
check.
towards us. 16.
Very much so.
Can I see the tree line at all?
The tree line
Or are we too far away from it on the road?
is you're in the middle of the hex probably right now. The tree line would be the forest is about 6 miles to your left. You are nowhere near a tree line. You are in the middle of the tundra.
Oi. Gang.
He's just leading you down the road.
Gang. I think this gutter is buying time. And yeah, so what if they're connected? Let's just kill him. That's one less cog, yeah? Kill him. And then scatter, you know? We just head into the wilds, get up off the road.
Agreed. That storm's coming too quickly at us.
And when you notice that he started to look up in the sky, that's what he's looking at. Is that storm.
Strip him down.
That's quickly approaching.
I want his clothes.
Oi. Hey, what you thinking right now? Hey, he's talking to that guy. Oi, what you thinking right now?
How I'll be honored in death. How you'll all be torn to pieces.
Yeah, you're thinking nothing. And he mind blasts him.
Alrighty. Intelligence
Uh-oh.
saving throw. Huh. Natural 20.
Ah.
Bit.
Just
Still half damage. 7.
the storm clouds get a little quicker.
And yeah, Abe's just like,
And he just stops leading and he just holds his arms out and looks up towards the sky.
let's do it. And Abe's going in to try and finish the job.
Samira, you do have a knife to this guy's throat. This guy is
Yeah.
technically responsible for Sumaji not being here anymore. Are you
can
quicker
I-
than Abraham?
Are you asking me to roll initiative?
No, I'm asking what you're
Okay.
doing.
Yeah, I would like to take the knife and just slam it, like just jab it through his temple.
Okay. So you pull back and then just...
Yeah.
His arms stretch out wide.
14 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright.
So the arms go wide, and then as soon as it... The arms...
6 piercing damage.
The arms go limp, and he just drops through the snow. And the storm gets... It covers... It's starting to, like, speed towards you, and it's like a blizzard is forming around this storm and coming in your direction. You can see the blizzard, like, moving along the ground, too.
What? 2 trees.
It is 6... The closest forest is 6 miles to your left.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
To the north.
You're in the middle of a hex on the road.
Okay.
I think our best. Best chance we got.
Cover tracks? Any of you know how to cover tracks? No.
Nope. I usually don't have to.
Well, then guess what our other option is? Run toward cover. Our closest cover is either Hrungar or them trees.
At this point, I'd say Hrungar is probably like, because you went an hour down the road to get to the carriage, so you're probably like a couple hundred yards away from the carriage. So there's the carriage, a couple hundred yards back, and then there's Hrungar, which is like an hour down the road back, and then the forest to the left, which is 6 miles away. So the only like
6
form
miles,
of
you can definitely get there in a couple minutes. If it's 6 miles, then
6 miles?
Yeah. No, I mean like
That's like a 2-hour run.
No,
Or that's like an
yeah.
hour run.
6
run-
miles, yeah, that's a
You can
long.
run. You can run 3 miles in 20 minutes.
The storm is close.
Yeah, but that's saying we have like
Let
good
us
constitution.
look. Let us simply. We have the carriage there. Let us just pile in and hunker down. It's the safest place right now.
Get back to the carriage.
Right, exactly what I just said.
It takes
Thank you.
so it takes 2 hours to walk 6 miles. So it would be an hour to run 6 miles. If you're moving at double pace.
we aren't going to run back.
So it's an hour to the forest,
trotting
an
back
hour to
the,
Hrungar,
car.
or the carriage, which is only a couple hundred yards back.
I'm going to the carrot.
Yeah, let's have a carriage.
Okay.
Let's see.
The storm
Much as I hate to agree with Kriara, and
The
Sarah
storm
also heads back to the
is getting closer to the point. As soon as you all, yeah.
Like,
Scooch will be
look
moving
the
at double
pause
speeds.
moment.
Scooch is moving at double speed. Tero's moving at double speed. Just down the road. You all get to the carriage as the storm.
as we tuck in, I'm gonna cast the magic hand, Maximilian's Earth and Grass, to kind of cover the open window up top of the carriage, because it's a medium-sized hand. So I'm gonna try to cast it so that the palm is covering the top of the carriage.
I will say that's going to stand out.
I'm more thinking of like trying to protect us from any snow drifts.
I'm
coming
warning
in.
you that it will make you stand out.
Push up
Okay.
against the opening. We just put a body up against
You
it.
get a sense this is the DM
Okay. Then I will not do
extending
that.
a lifeline
The,
aid.
the universe is telling me no.
And also the spell doesn't really function
Okay.
in that capacity.
Okay.
So you all get to the wagon just as the storm forms overhead, moving very fast on the wind the storm was. As you all get to the wagon, it is a covered carriage. It is on the side. The back door is still open from when Tero opened it.
Mm-hmm.
As you all, I assume everyone's clambering into the back and closing the door. It is blanketed
Yeah.
by snow too. Cool. Everybody makes stealth checks with... actually, no, don't need to make stealth checks. Because, yeah. So, it does have, like, curtains over the windows, so you can kind of peek out one of the windows and see what's going on. The ground shakes like an earthquake. A gale force wind, like, whips through the area, and it feels like the carriage moves, like, 20 feet from just the wind alone. With you all in it, it kind of just moves along the side of the road. Peeking out through the window, it is a swirling blizzard around this entire area, just whipping up. It's potentially the worst blizzard any of you have ever seen. Like, visibility is nigh impossible. Fuck, I have what I need. I need to find it. Someone help me find it.
Right there.
I figured a way to.
It's right there,
I found
yeah.
it. I found
Have
it.
you checked here?
Look,
Have
there
you
it
checked
is.
here?
Oh, thanks, guys. I found it.
You're welcome.
Through
So good.
the blizzard, you see something that is hundreds of feet tall, just stalking the land. You catch glimpses of it, like of these like bluish, like little speckles of like ice. You can see kind of like how ice shimmers when it catches the light, almost. You can see like pieces of like ice catching the mint green moonlight that's shining down and kind of catching off this form. So you catch glimpses of something bulky and big. And with each kind of footfall, the ground shakes like little miniature earthquakes. The blizzard kind of begins to fade a little bit. And you see a massive dragon-like creature standing over the body of Eldrick Reinhardt, a couple hundred yards away. It's a bulky, muscular build. The head is elongated but dragon-like, a fierce predatory blue with white slits for pupils, a cluster of icy blue horns growing from his head that mimic the appearance of a crown, two larger ice-covered horns growing out from his jaws and curving forward to sharp jagged points like this. The lower jaw is bulkier and more muscular. You can see an extremely pale blue forked tongue, like flashing out every once in a while. And running from the chin down to the throat is a series of jagged, serrated, ice-like spines. The body, hulking and massive, built like a living tank. The scales covering his body look like jagged tufts of white and blue ice that have been catching the moonlight, just shining off of it. The wings, as they fold in against the body, look like they had a wingspan of about 875 feet.
Oh my god.
And they're bat-like in appearance without the fur, just scales. And unlike the other dragons Sumaji, Scooch saw with Sumaji, and you all have probably seen dragons in books and stuff and everything, and there are dragons in the Underdark, so also Abraham would know what dragons look like down there at least. Instead, along with the primary pair of massive wings, slightly smaller, sleeker wings are tucked underneath that set, and they also fold in. Front limbs are muscular, heavy, with incredible sharp claws, back limbs much the same. The tail is incredibly long, thick, and muscular, the tip of which resembles a morning star. Looks around a little bit, looks down at the body. Failure. What's up?
How intimidating is this fucker?
You gain a sense that you are looking at the Rime King.
So,
Yeah, everybody make wisdom saving throws to avoid the frightened condition.
No.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
I will say the wagon is like,
yeah, that's about right.
you know running is a bad idea, so the frightened condition is going to make you run away.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Well, we
DC
can't get any closer.
Could be locked down.
I don't think any. Actually, let's see. Yeah, none of your roll because you can't beat the DC. It's just like an innate fear that bubbles up. This is.
I think we all failed anyway. We all rolled like.
I rolled a 4.
Roll
This
all
is-
shit.
Like, you are seeing the Rime King in his draconic visage. I didn't expect him to show up because I didn't expect this to occur, but I have art in the works of this dragon form. But he looks down at the form and he looks around, and the form shifts, and shrinks down into a tiefling. A handsome older tiefling in his late 50s, early 60s, pale blue, almost white skin. You can't really see his eyes from here because now he's just a man. About 6 foot tall, healthy average build. A pair of white horns similar to Illidan's from World of Warcraft. They kind of curve all the way back. They're huge and they just curve back. He has medium length white hair that is combed back, revealing a prominent widow's peak. Well taken care of beard, mustache, slightly sunken cheeks, and a sharp jawline. And growing out from his scalp is a crown of jagged ice. Samira, this is the individual you and Sumaji saw when you were interacting with the blue blood at the mines. This is the tiefling you saw in your mines, and he spoke your name. He wears a regal...
the one Abraham saw infect the orphans.
Yeah. He wears a regal and kingly-looking white tunic that exudes wealth. It comes to just below his waist and flares out. The sleeves are tight-fitting, flared sleeves, heavy polar bear fur cloak that clasps over. And he looks down at the body, and I'm going to post a picture of the rough sketch I got of this form.
So I actually have a question.
Yeah.
When the change happens from dragon form to humanoid-esque, is there, like, because you said there was, like, snow and stuff, is there a displacement of air that happens there where, like, and the snowflakes, like, and, like, come in and...
Yeah, it's like this. The blizzard is, like, briefly, like, shimmers around him, and that's when the form drops. You don't see the form actually drop. The blizzard, like, conceals it a little bit, and standing there is the dragon is no more, and it's this tiefling man.
So, like, because of... I'm just imagining, like, how it might look here, and that is just, like, the change happens, but it's, like, snowflakes go and obscure the vision, like...
Yeah,
it's
pretty similar to that.
Cool. Yeah, that's freaking cool.
It is just the rough sketch I have. I don't have the full thing of this yet, but it's still fun to look at regardless.
That's good.
Rough sketch.
There's a tiefling visage.
Mash.
Yeah. So you see that form appear, looks down at the body, picks it up with one hand with no real effort, just looks at it, looks around a little bit, looks towards the carriage.
Samira's trying desperately to shield whatever she can of her mind.
Wisdom
Not
saving.
knowing exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
Trying to recreate what she did earlier with the Burgermeister when he tried to get in. No.
You just...
9.
Yeah, you just get a sense that it knows you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And he just looks over. You all see him looking at the carriage directly. He's basically locking eyes with Samira, probably, as you're peeking out. He just looks over, 300 yards away, holding the body of Eldrick Reinhardt. Looks in your direction.
Says in people's minds, I've got to die, Calvin.
The blizzard forms around him again, and another gale force wind, and the carriage has moved another 20 feet as you see the storm dissipate and fade into the distance. And I think we're gonna go for a quick 10-minute break, and then when we come back we'll polish it off. So yeah, quick 10-minute break. We'll see you all back here soon. Also, so I can sort out my internet. But yes, 10 minutes. So as you all are huddled in this carriage, the blizzard fades, along with the tiefling dragon figure and the body of Eldrick Reinhardt, just leaving you all in the broken carriage on the side of the road as the blizzard completely just fades and goes away.
So he hasn't been breathing.
Yeah. Same. Briarne's breath was caught. First time that they've been speechless.
I think hearing everyone letting out like gasps of, "Oh wait, we haven't been breathing for a minute." Samira also feigns breath.
Is that who I think it was?
Yeah, sure was.
Great, and he knew he was looking here with intention.
Well, we did learn that he was going to be giving a speech in Volkill, so he's probably close by.
Came looking for his little lost puppy.
And then took the body for some reason.
Alright. Well, Samira, I say this with the utmost respect, but your liability right now there's some connection that you got with that, and I don't know if that connection is what saved us, or if it's made a target on us.
Probably both.
He looked right at us and flew
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
He could have probably wiped us out.
Maybe. We're pretty capable, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know, I got delusions. I'll admit that they're all shattered. Seeing that, like what we up against now, it is only marginally like achievable, you know, stopping this one compared to, you know, the Elder Brain that I'm familiar with. Because with the Elder Brain, I don't even have a choice, you know.
I think
But-
more allies, or figuring out if there are other people. Maybe not just the Vanguard, because I feel like he could wipe all them out easily as well. It might not hurt to find more allies, specifically, or no, especially those individuals who attacked the mines when we were there. That's still a mystery. And now we have this amazing, interesting new friend that was been following us for who knows how long.
That's me, by the way, if anybody wasn't aware. Look,
Right.
I think one thing to take from this is, yes, he is grandiose and powerful, made me lose every thought that I had. But yes, I think more allies is the way to go. And something is just, I don't know. You brought up that altar to the moon, and I cannot stop thinking about it. It just seems right there. I think we need to make a stop.
Yeah, right. It's in the plan, weirdo.
Really not to be rude about it.
What? We're all weirdos, right?
Right, but I wouldn't
Don't
call
take
you that
offense.
to your face.
Why not?
'Cause I would call you your name.
Yes, but we're all weird.
Yeah, well, your name's still new and I don't remember it, so just
Well?
get with it. Alright.
A mind flayer who lacks intelligence to remember a simple name.
Listen up. I devote my brain energy toward what I think is worthy. Alright?
What? Art?
among other things. Yeah. By the way, you follow us all from the mines. You see the mines. You inspect the mines.
No.
Well, what you mean then?
I
Matrigan dropped us off at the mines. So where'd she
right,
drop you
and
off?
I wasn't there with you, was I?
Right.
I wasn't
right.
present.
So where'd she drop you off?
Well, she didn't drop me off anywhere. I was instructed to make my way and to watch and observe post mine to ensure that it was a success, which you still haven't confirmed or denied, and to just get a report. I was really supposed to just stay low key for a while, but things...
Right, if you're looking for a report, I got two answers here.
Sure.
He pulls up the dragon blood abomination head, unwraps it, throws it at Creeran, pulls out the operative's head, unwraps it, throws it at Creeran.
Inside the carriage, so it's very close quarter throwing. Just.
Well, I guess it's not like a overhand throw. It's
No,
more
yeah.
like it's
I
more
know.
like a yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so success. Congratulations, or gifting, or happy birthday. Whatever.
What is your problem?
What is your problem?
I have done nothing
I just
but...
told you we succeeded at our mission. So
No, you threw two
now it's
heads
your
at
turn.
me.
Yeah.
No. You threw two disembodied heads at me and
Yeah.
said, "Congratulations, Merry Christmas, or Merry Winter's Crest, or whatever it's called."
Well, you
Just
wanted proof.
I didn't ask for proof. I asked for if it was a success or not. You could have said yes or no. Do I take this as a yes and this as a no because you just gave me both answers?
Rotting
Yeah, they're
heads.
both yes.
Okay, there you go.
If
Take
you-
them back.
They're both enemies.
I wasn't there. I don't know. I have you acting like I'm... I have you who will not acknowledge me, which we'll get to that point later, I hope, eventually. To some degree I understand, but not really. You seem like I'm... like you're attacking me as if
What?
I'm one of the worms.
I'm not attacking you.
You are.
No, you said that you
I'm
were
just
here
trying to do my
collect a
job.
report. You're
Sitting here making
getting
me
a
feel like
report.
shit. And she starts to
Okay.
cry
Come
like
off
one
it.
command.
Oh,
just
come off it.
Tears.
Yeah, come off it. You want a report. You want a report, Kririn.
Kriaren. Just call me the sculptor if your brain struggles to find the words for it, because it deals with art.
Right, Kririn. Alright.
Uh-huh.
You want a report. You got it. So
This isn't a report. This isn't what you would say. Would you? Okay. Would you, if Lady Montragin said, "What happened in the mines?" What would you do? You would throw two disembodied heads at her and said, "Here you go." No.
yeah, this is what was on at the mines. You got any questions?
You didn't ask if I had questions. You did not ask that. You said, "Here you go. Here are two disembodied
No.
heads. You're welcome. Congratulations."
But you
whatever
didn't even
that
come.
means."
You didn't come out with questions. You just came out with accusations.
I did. No. I asked you one question. Was it
Yeah.
a success or was it not? You did not answer me back
No,
then.
I gave you the heads, and then you didn't ask anything.
You know what? You are the type of person that will fight against anything for the sake of arguing. Will you not?
No, I'm not. I'm not arguing.
Then what do you call this?
You wanted.
Nope.
You wanted to know how we did.
Nope. Yeah. Nope. No. I asked you a simple yes or no question. Did you succeed or did you not?
Yeah, we succeeded.
There you go. Wow.
Great. Yeah, I've answered that like 5 times.
No, you did not.
I'm so glad
Certainly he did not.
that we've communicated this issue.
Effective communication starts with answering correctly.
Kriaren, as this is going on, Abraham says, "We succeeded." You hear like a little tapping on the window of the carriage. There's like a little raven sitting there. It looks at you, and then flies off.
Are we staying in this carriage or are we walking? I don't want to be here anymore. I want to stretch my legs.
Anyone know what time of day it is?
No.
I'm feeling pretty tired. I think you need to just cozy up and have a snooze.
Right. All right.
I would gladly take a nap. And Tero just sits there in the corner in his trance state, just staring directly at the wall of the interior.
Yeah, but to get back to my other questions, right?
I think halfway through that conversation, Samira just climbs out and is sitting against the outside of the carriage.
Okay, as you do climb out, the rock that was in the middle of the road is gone as if it was never there.
Abraham is broadcasting now,
Yeah.
so that Samira can hear what he says.
Okay.
All right. So you got sent here to verify our results. I gave you proof of our results. I told you. On top of it, verbal, or I guess mental, since whatever.
Don't overthink it.
Right. So now what? You shoving off then? Or you got some other business? Like, why haven't you left already?
She looks out the where Samira left. Let me be tactful in the way that I say this. You have lost someone who was probably one of your most capable fighters.
I mean, he was good.
I'm better.
You know, yeah, we got a lot of fighters here.
Okay.
I shouldn't speak
let me
ill of the
backtrack.
dead.
You lost someone that could take a large brunt of the force of damage.
This is just Lex going, just. Yeah, that's great. Keep going. I love
You
it.
lost your tank.
Yeah.
I love it. Keep going. Sorry.
The intention of my presence was, yes, to check in, but also to work with you in the future of what is to happen and what is to come. I am very much a member of the Vanguard. I am very much a member of ensuring that we are successful. So no, I'm not going to leave. No, I'm not going to show off. I will be here.
I think there's something that you need to understand.
Sure.
The group, as it is, without you,
Hmm?
came about quite organically. Alright? This
I
is
don't
a
expect
little,
to be friends with you.
Right,
I don't even
this is a
really want to
little
be friends with half of you.
arranged. Okay?
Arrangement is one thing. It is no. Actually, this is pretty organic. Someone had to die for me to show my presence. It's not much organic than that. I didn't orchestrate a death. I didn't say, "Oh well, yeah." No, none of that happened. Someone passed, and I have found it in good consciousness to step up.
Right, you've been assigned our group. Whereas
I was assigned a group.
Yeah, yeah.
I was given the option to I could either stay
I,
or I could go.
I just want you to know there is a big difference between someone being your brother and someone being assigned. And
I'm not trying
right
to be
now,
anybody's brother. I'm not
I
trying to be
know,
your friend.
I know. I'm just saying, you're here to fill a gap, but you can't fill all the gaps. And he gestures to Samira on the other side of the thing, of the wagon.
I understand.
I know you, and then here he's like, I know you've been trying, right? But some things, some things you don't try right out the gate. This is fresh wound. She still doesn't even think it's dead. His whole body got taken to the 9 hells as far as we know. Oh, right. You wouldn't know that.
I mean, they look like a devil. Devil knowledge is pretty common, so you'd know that.
I'm not going to question what happened. The body's gone.
That body's gone. That's all you need to know.
When the door opened, it smelled a bit like sulfur and brimstone. I'm not going to question. It's not mine to call into question. Look. Yes.
Scoochie's got bowel problems. That's what you were smelling.
Sure. Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
smelled like bird shit.
You see Scooch is like pulling out a pack of like a tin of sardines out of his sleeve that are wrapped in tobacco, and he's eating them. Offers one to Kriarin. It's always rude to eat in front of people, so I figured I'd offer. My buddy Jeff always told me, offer food to guests first.
And look, I appreciate your kind gesture, but no thank you.
Better than my buddy Jeff's foods. He gives you peanut butter soaked sardines, and those are, they're all right.
Sounds miserable.
Boy, Scooch, can I have one of them? They
Yeah.
got a little brain, right? And them sardines.
Yeah,
It's just a tiny
hands
brain.
one to you.
Jesus.
Yeah,
The smallest little braid.
It's like eating
we'll
brain.
see.
It's like brain caviar.
yeah. And he just like tosses it up, and then the big tentacles are just like they like come out from under the beak of the thing, and then down the lamprey gullet,
Okay.
and then closes up, turns the tentacles into like a corkscrew, and snuggles them up back into the mask.
Samira, you're just sitting outside.
Yeah, I'm just sitting outside watching the horizon where the storm had come from.
Yeah, you don't see it anymore. It's gone.
Mm-hmm. Is the sky completely clear?
It's back to being a clear night sky. Yeah.
I think she's pulled out her deck of tarot cards and is just fiddling with it, doing shuffles,
Okay.
trying to occupy her hands with something else.
Okay. Eventually, those of you who need sleep can start to feel, especially after the day's events, the church, what just occurred, meeting this weirdo. You can start. Some of you who require sleep can start to feel it like creeping in.
Yeah, Abraham's just like, what, Tero, Samira, keep an eye on this Kriarin.
Oh, I'll keep both eyes.
Great. I'm crashing.
You ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, I'm crashing. Alright?
Get some sleep, babe.
Yeah. Thanks. Hey, Samira.
Yeah.
Sorry about Sumaji.
Thanks.
Abraham's gonna go to bed.
Alright. So, Scooch, Tero, Abraham, cramped with Kriarin, cramped in this wagon. Samira still sitting outside. The cold not really affecting you. Bothered me anyway. Kriarin, as you're like looking out the window of the carriage, all these weirdos, the snowflakes stop falling and freeze. Nobody else is aware that time has stopped because you were all frozen as well, except for Kriarin. There's a little knock on the carriage door.
Come in.
The door opens, and you see Lady Motrigan peeking inside. Everyone else frozen in time, including Samira outside. The snow, fall, also frozen. How's it going, dearie?
Look, this group. This group is...
They're interesting, aren't they? Can we speak in somewhere more private?
Oh. Sure.
If you don't mind, I don't want to take you away for too long.
Nope. We'll be okay with that. Climb out and gingerly step over the others.
She looks into the road where the rock was, and she's like, well, I'm absolutely delighted that worked out.
Yeah, that was you.
I've been missing my little mischievous ways, I have to be honest. The masquerade is getting a little bit stale. And she snaps her fingers and opens up a little seam in just space and steps through. This way, let's go somewhere much warmer. This is too cold for my liking.
False.
And she
Step through.
leads you through this shimmering doorway, and you're standing in this like otherworldly garden of various colored flowers and plants. Before you see a massive garden filled with scarecrows with pumpkin heads, and some of the scarecrows look like they might be people that have just been turned into scarecrows. There's a vacant piece of land where it looks like a statue once sat that's been moved. The sky is eternally night here, as you recall, twinkling and bright in various constellations, multicolored constellations. The color of the weave, essentially, just scattered about multicolored rainbow colors. You step into this place, and up ahead you see a massive tree, a door on it, turned like it's a sort of house. As Montrosian sort of steps into this place, she's like, "Oh, it's time to remove the skin, dearie." And she sort of does what you do and peels the face off.
Oh, goodness.
And standing there, you see the preferred visage of Montrosian of the Tangled Weave. This emaciated old hag with a drooping sausage-like nose, bulging yellow eyes, greasy long hair. Her preferred visage that people tend to call her by is Gothel.
Yep.
Oh, they're a tricky bunch, aren't they?
I just hurt.
Have you been keeping an eye on the ones I told you of?
Of course I have.
Good, good. The connection there is interesting. I still haven't figured out how the two siblings are connected to Thalassirian, and I'm even more curious as to Tero and how he's connected to his mistress.
He's been relatively quiet in his exchanges, though I think I've wiggled my way a bit into his good sides.
Have they
Yeah.
showed any inkling for checking out the altar?
I am pushing as much as I am to get them to do such a thing. Abraham, I feel, views me as a countermeasure or counterpoint instead of a potential friend or ally. But that will be for me to fix and to make right.
Of course. I've already dabbled too much in events today. I don't want to do too much else.
So Samira needs to get her. The connection feels deep. Appears deep.
There may be ways to protect them from the connection. If Serendor is still alive and well at the altar, he might be able to protect against said connection. Serendor always did dislike his brother Thalassirian, so you could play up on the sibling rivalry there, perhaps. Oh.
I do what I can to be discreet about the knowledge that I do possess.
Of course, but if they do grow wary of you, reveal what I have told you about my suspicions with the Vanguard. I don't trust that they keep the head of that dragon in their headquarters, based on what I saw at the mines through their eyes. There's a connection there that is highly curious. And my spying on the Vanguard has proved Not as beneficial as I thought it would. Their secrets run deep, as does the crater they built their headquarters on. Stay vigilant. I believe it would be the best course of action. I should probably get back to the headquarters. Vonkar will be missing me most dearly.
Right. Your
My little stone companion.
friend. Yes. Well, let me get back to them.
Of
Playing-
course.
playing
Should
the
you need a
odd is not
little
fun, but-
should you need a little manipulation of things along the way, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay.
She smiles, and she opens up the blouse a little bit at the gaping void in her stomach where all those arms stretch out, reach out and pull you into a hug.
She's
I am so happy I was able to set you free as well. But know this, the ones you travel with are not our enemies. And as much as it would pain me to see one of my children die, I think it is beneficial that the Rime King falls. And from what I can see through the stars and what fabric of fate remains for me to entangle, these ones might be the ones to do it. Wouldn't that be delightful?
It would be something to see them come together enough to overthrow such a thing. But, I'm willing to watch and observe, keep them alive as needed.
Be as honest as you can. I don't think deception and lies are going to be our way forward with these individuals. We will continue to maintain the facade with the Vanguard, as again, something about them I do not fully trust. And if you can, without pushing them too much, guide them toward the altar, a meeting with Serendor would be most beneficial, even though the requirement to enter said altar is no longer living. I'm sure they would permit entry if the circumstances are dire enough. And then she lets you go of the hug. I think it's time you get back. We can't keep them waiting.
All right. Well, I guess.
And she pats you on the head with one of her long, spindly arms.
Just walk out, or
And as she does, you're just sitting back in the carriage. And that is where we're going to finish the session for the week. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Rip, Sumaji. Bye.
goodbye.
Screaming, crying, throwing up.
Bye, Sumaji.
Bye, Sumaji.
Bye. And we'll see you all back here next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Aww.